session, Ananta Krishna brother is going to take cursive writing phonetics. Cursive writing, we all know, it's a very important part of the education for children because, as he said yesterday, it shows the traits of our personality. And handwriting not only is about creating beautiful writing, but at the age that these children are, formative age, there are some kind of neurological significance also. Because when they learn to hold the pencil properly or the pen properly, the certain nerves in their minds are activated. Nowadays, because of this generation of keyboards and all, children are losing out a lot on this one thing. But luckily, we are Indians. We are not going to give up writing and allow the technology to take over entirely. So we will be using our handwriting also. So this is the significance of cursive writing. And about phonetics, a smart child might ask you, why do we need phonetics? We can find out that answer in the very word phonetics. It is Phonetics. So the child will ask, why is it not F? So we can always answer, English is not a logical language. So what you see is not what is the reality. So today we will go on this exciting journey. Brother Ananta Krishna will take us through the exciting journey of phonetics along with cursive writing. Sai Ram. Sai Ram to all.
Thank you, sister. Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering ourselves with the divine lotus feet. Months. So surrender to Swami is the secret of any success in any department. So yesterday, as Sister Lata has pointed out now, that today we will be beginning the real foundation laying for 6th and 7th. And we have just asked for the dictionaries to come. Until it come, we will finish with a couple of activities, just like a warming up exercises, So soon after breakfast, sometimes it is said that breakfast also sometimes it will be little heavy. So it will be a good thing for working out. These spoken language activities, they are to be done as part of entertainment to the children. And unconsciously, learning is happening. So we have to remember this. Unconsciously, without their knowledge, without even their knowledge, learning is happening. That's how it should happen. So they should not be feeling that we are learning English through this. Without even their knowledge, it should happen. So in between the most important thing called foundation laying, which is all this, for which probably assessments have to be done in an informal way. Assessments have to be done in an informal way. These things should be, it should keep on motivating them, just to entertain them, all these things. So now we have distributed one handout, one worksheet, where this is all, after the 6th and 7th class. Generally, probably you can use this for 8th, 9th, 10th, depending upon the quality of your children, standard of your students. So this is one such beautiful activity which is very, very enjoyable. Children, especially if they have some minimum standard of English, once you bring them to that level, you can do these kind of activities. So what is this? This is a radio or a video show. So all these activities that I am now giving to you from last 2-3 days, we have done it in our high school from last 15 years, and it proved to be very successful. And children just enjoyed it. And they did all this drama, skits, they took part in all this. I used to make them come and do the groups of people, groups. We used to make groups of children, 8 groups, 8 groups, 1 or 8 to 10, and 40 children, 4-5 groups. And I used to give them 1 day time, prepare this, and take them down and leave them alone, and help them, just keep monitoring them, keep helping them, guiding them if they want any assistance in script writing or any such thing. And they'll be ready with one class, one period you give them for practice, script writing, and then 1 period for practice, 1 or 2 periods you give them, and then 3rd period you conduct one by one. Others will be audience, and these people will come and present the show. So it's very, very enjoyable. So how to do this, I'm going to just, with Swami's grace, I'll demonstrate. with intonations, modulation. See, if you do this way only, it will have effect. See, it's very important to know that, see, for example, yesterday I read out one poem. Poem recitation, see, generally what happens, we read the poem, we start explaining the poem. It is not only wrong, mark my words, it is positively dangerous. Positively dangerous. Not only wrong, it is positively dangerous. Even telephonic conversation is a part of actually all this. Telephonic conversations between two people. We have a question in CBSE. Two people, conversations are given. And, like for example, now just now, the way I talked, that will be printed. One person character, another character. And after listening to the telephonic conversation, you have to... Okay, so these are connected to daily life situations. All these activities are connected to daily life situations. Therefore, they are very, very enjoyable and most practical. And it develops our language because it's communicative approach. Therefore, let's begin. So only one extra, if anyone has, I'll just trouble you. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. So I'll just show you how we have to present this, in fact. Then we have to guide the children that way. And this is one homework that we are giving to you, because you can't prepare today only. So 2-3 handouts, I'll just read out each one how to do and give the handouts to you. You will listen to a local radio program which will give you ideas for your own program. You will hear the program twice. First, listen without writing anything. The teacher may record it or read it with the help of students. Maybe 8, 9, 10 students, whoever is capable. So first, let me just read out the characters there. So see, sound effects, 10 seconds. So all this, like for example, you have to prepare, in preparation, in the starting music. That also can be added, if recording facility is there. Otherwise, okay, whatever possible. So 10 seconds of starting music, and then music fading into, So, and then person begins, presenter. A very good day to all our listeners. This is your local radio station, Class 9 Local Radio, bringing you up to the minute news, current affairs, music, interviews, roundups, and much, much more. Yes, and today's program, we have a special report from Ketaki Lahari on safety at school. Nikhil Gomes brings you his regular weekly review of Beyond the Timetable. And Leena invites you to meet the teacher. And lots more, jokes, news, you name it, and we have it. We start with roundup of school news by our roving correspondent, Anand Singh. Anand, over to you. It's myself probably. Okay, Anand. Good morning, everybody. The highlight of this week's school news is that our school football team lost every single match it played in the YMCA football tournament at league level. The physical education teacher is so livid that he has threatened to make the school team practice on a double time schedule from tomorrow. So friends, it's wake up at 4 a.m. for all footballers henceforth. You have to read between the lines. So if you read between the lines to catch the humor, did you catch the humor? What was the humor? I don't know, it really little bit went unnoticed probably for someone. Did you catch the humor in my name is there, there. Presenter 1, this one, Anand. Good morning, everybody. Team lost every single match it played in the YMCA tournament at league level. The physical education teacher is so livid that he has threatened to make the school team practice on a double time schedule from tomorrow. So friends, it's wake up at 4 a.m. for all footballers henceforth. Now if you read this way only, they will understand. and you need to read this way itself. If you read in any other way, the whole activity becomes wrong. So intonation, modulation. Doesn't matter sometimes if regional accent comes in between. So that is okay. But fluency and intonation, no compromise. So I'll not disturb again. I'll read in one continuous lot now. In another school news, the tiny tots were taken on a visit to the zoo. Some, it is said, did not wish to return. One accompanying teacher, we are told, had a tough time convincing them that life outside is better. Class 12 put on a one-act play, Examination Fever, which was written, directed and produced by them. The proceeds from this show are being sent to Pratyasha, an organization that helps handicapped children. Look out next week for the new faces around the school. A group of 20 students from Japan are arriving on a cultural exchange program. We might even get one of them on our next edition of the Class 9 radio show. So, lots happening at school, it seems, and lots more on your local radio. It's time for jokes now. Over to you, Hafiz and Arohi. Waiter, what's wrong with these eggs? I don't know. I only laid the table. Waiter, what's this fly doing in my soup? Breaststroke, I think, sir. I wish you would pay a little more attention. I'm paying as little as I can. Yes, you should have been here at 9 o'clock. Why? What happened? Did you understand this joke? He's asking a question. Why I should be at 9 o'clock? What is the big thing that has happened? You should have been here at 9 o'clock. Why? What happened? Okay. Thank you, Hafiz and Arohi. And don't forget, listeners, to send in your jokes. Every original joke will win you a reward of ₹10 for each one played on your favorite radio program, Class 9 Local Radio, the station just for you. And now to your regular spot, Meet the Teacher, in which Leena interviews one of your favorite teachers to discover the real person behind the chalk dust. So it's all yours, Leena. Thank you. I'm delighted today to be able to interview the head of science department, Mr. Chirag Sharma. What all your listeners are dying to know is, are you as strict at home as you are at school? I don't have a bunch of 40 naughty children at home. Did you ever get into trouble when you were at school, sir? Have you ever thought how I'm able to catch you in your tricks? I was usually up to the same tricks at school. No, I'm afraid my teachers were not very happy with me. How good were you in your studies, sir? That was my strong point. My work was always up to date and fairly good. I was naughty, but I was also keen to learn more. How do you spend your evenings and holidays, sir? I like to spend time at home with my teenage children. We have common talents in music. Any message for our listeners, sir? Yes, fun and play have their place in our lives. We must enjoy our play. At the same time, we must work with enthusiasm and sincerity. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Leena, for that fascinating interview. I'm sure we all know now what makes Mr. Sharma tick. And now it's time for a break. It's advert time. Buy 2 and pay for 1. Ruchita of 7th C has a fabulous offer. 2 pencil boxes for the price of 1. Pay ₹5 for the bargain. Lost a Keltron calculator. Krishna of class 12A has offered a treat in the school canteen to the finder. And now a very serious subject. Ketaki has been researching the topic safety at school. She has come up with some very disturbing findings. This is the report, Ketaki. As I went around the senior school, I was alarmed to find a number of broken electric sockets with exposed wires. Beware of this hidden danger, senior students. That brings to me another danger. This time in the primary block, the lid of the ground level water tank is broken. Till it is repaired, students are warned not to go anywhere near it. Well, time's up, boys and girls of Class 9 radio show, bringing you news and entertainment of interest to you in your school and locality. Until next week. So after you give this presentation, this was the presentation, and you have to show them how to do it. So this is one sample that you have to give your children. Then you have to keep ready one worksheet. So this is one sample. Like, if you can in fact create a worksheet also for this after reading out. So this is one listening activity also. It's a listening activity as well. So after you read out this entire thing and then tell them to work out this worksheet. So it's just a sample I'm giving you, or need not be any worksheet need not be given. You have to just tell them prepare to give 2 days time, prepare a radio video show with criterions. With criteria, you can assess them for spoken language for 8th, 9th and 10th. And if you're doing for 6th and 7th, it should be only for, if you're doing only for 6th and 7th, it should be only for entertainment or enjoyment. You should not, because all these spoken language activities for small children, they are just to introduce them. Unconsciously, they should just get motivated. But for higher children, you can do this as activities. For higher children, you can do this as activities with parameters, with criterions. We'll all show you what are the different parameters for different activities, because you can't simply give marks. For example, you give 10 marks for this activity. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sairam to you. Sairam to you. So, you can't simply give marks. For example, if you give 10 marks for this, you can't simply guess and somebody, so say for example, so one group does. And you can't simply, of course, you as a teacher, you have a right to judge, but children will not be convinced. So if you want to give marks, what you have to do? You have to give reasons to them. In order to give reason, we have to give criteria. So, for example, spoken language activities, content, 2 marks. And then, what is the content they have prepared? See, now this content, very good content, no? So, good jokes, humorous content, 5 out of 5, or 2 out of 2. And then another 2 marks, fluency of the presenters. You are as a judge, you are sitting in the class. Others are audience. One by one group by group they are doing. So, you have to assess them for higher children. You have to just assess them with the criteria. Fluency, very good. They are but if they stumble, it will not be very appealing. So give less marks. Then similarly, pronunciation or presentation or pause, stress. So we will show you the activities with criteria. We have also made the criteria so to make it easy for you. But you have to go through and understand it. Any doubt you can ask us. So you can use this in handy. So this, did you understand, all of you, dear brothers and sisters? So this is one thing which you can use. So next one. So this one is one such spoken language activity again. This is one such spoken language activity again. Teacher student can read out an interview between the police inspector in charge of the case, the housekeeper Mrs. Lakshmi, and the watchman Ram Singh. As you listen, note down the details of the burglar. Now this is very beautiful. This is again a role play, but these role plays, until it is done with perfect intonation modulations, it will not have the desired effect. It will not have the desired effect. So how it should be done, I'll just show you once. This can be probably definitely done by all of you, in pairs, whoever is confident. 2 people can join together. See, first one, students complete the notes while listening to the interview. And backside, they have worksheets. So this is a listening activity based on which you can give marks for the highest children. And if it is for lower children, only for entertainment. So they can pick up the language informally, smaller children, but don't assess them at all for anything other than handwriting and phonetics. Small children, only those 2. So, inspector. Hello, madam. And did you notice my change of modulation of voice? Now, if you do that, only the children will enjoy. Otherwise, they'll not enjoy it. They'll understand it very well if you modulate your voice. It's possible for everybody with a little hard work. So, Inspector, hello madam, I am Inspector Mansingh. I'm in charge of the burglary case which occurred in the flat of your employer, Mr. Ravikant. It must have been a harrowing experience for you.
Yes, it was a terrible experience. People like that should be locked up in a prison.
If you will cooperate with us, we'll catch them in no time. Were you alone in the department at that time?
Yes, it was 11:30 in the night, and I was alone as my master and his wife had left for Shimla.
How do you think the burglar gained entry into the house?
He might have come through the balcony and entered my room.
And now tell me something about his physique. What about his build? How tall was he?
He was about 6 feet tall.
What about his physique?
He was not thin. He was well built and rather plump.
What about his dress? What was he wearing?
I think his clothes were rather old and faded. He was wearing black shirt which was faded.
Do you remember the color of his trousers?
They were of a dark shade, either black or blue.
Can you tell me something about his face?
Unfortunately, no. When he entered my room, I panicked. But then I gathered courage and screamed and tried to run away. But I was a bit late. He struck me with a staff and I really don't remember anything after that. Maybe I was knocked out. Later on, I came to know that he broke into the bedroom and ran off with the jewelry. But Ram Singh, the watchman, who tried to catch him, may be able to describe him better.
Okay, Lakshmi, thank you. If I need your help, I'll come again. You may have to identify the burglar. Now I'll speak to Ram Singh. Inspector to Ram Singh. Ram Singh, you were on duty and you tried to catch the burglar. You may be able to give a good description of him. First, tell me about his hair.
He had straight black hair.
What about the shape of his face and his complexion?
He had an oval face with grey eyes, and I think he was dark and complexioned.
Did he wear spectacles?
Yes, sir, with a plastic frame, and his nose was rather sharp.
What else can you remember about him? What about his teeth and lips?
His lips were quite thick.
Is there anything else that you remember about him?
When I heard some noise from inside, I ran in.
I tried to stop the burglar and we had a scuffle. During the struggle, I noticed that he had 6 fingers on his right hand, but he managed to run away and made good his escape on a motorbike. Thank you, Ram Singh. We will make sketches on the basis of your description and nab him. So this is one presentation that you'll have to just give it as an example, because as of now it is like that, but I am telling it from on the basis of assuming that you have trained the children. Just say 6th, 7th you have laid the foundation, they have good vocabulary, so and then you have taken them to 8th. So this is just from ideal point of view that I'm telling, but anyhow, as madam said, you can have all those kind of solutions and see how best you can present it to them, how best you can do it. Well, they enjoy all this, even with little faults. Finally, what I say is, without these things, without any kind of activities, what are we going to teach English after all? Is it only lesson and then say question answers? Well, that will be, as I told you, worst part of it. So it's not just lesson that we have to teach and say fill up the blanks and by heart the questions, it will come in the exam. That is not English, because this is communicative approach. Correct? Am I telling correct thing? Because this is what is required for children. How to converse. How conversation takes place between inspector and people. How conversations take place between teacher and pupil. How conversation takes place between mother and son. How it happens in real life situations. This is what we have to expose them to. All said and done, with all faults and all challenges, we have to find that solutions. As Madam said, she has something, she does some the kind of strategies. Find out what kind of strategies that you can employ and kindly go forward with it. Because even if you expose it with yourself or anybody, or even if you call somebody, for example, if we are not very good in presentation, you can call someone, as Madam said, students or other teachers who can do that, and you can expose them to that. Now, for example, handwriting, it's a very serious problem. It's a very grave problem. At present, we don't know the solution is there or not, because we have to improve now. After we improve only, we'll be able to write and show it to them. But until then, you can use these recordings or use something. You have to find a solution, expose them at the earliest age. Otherwise, later, it will be too late. Now, they will not be able to pick up handwriting when you start at 8th or 9th level. So you have to expose this hand. At least they should come to know something. By seeing video, at least you can use the recordings and teach them handwriting so that they'll be fairly good enough. Something is better than nothing, and better late than never. So these things we have to keep it in mind and go about as much as possible. So this is one thing, and then there are worksheets. You can complete that for children. This is so now after doing this, the other two worksheets I'll give it later. Let me come to phonetics part of now. We'll start with.
As Anantakrishna brother said now, in that context I'm saying, he spoke about, English is not all about reading the chapter, going to the question answer at the end and fill in the blanks, etc. Now, all of us most probably are doing this state board Karnataka books, English books, is it not? What we normally do is we stop at the question answers and everything related to the text. But beyond that, there are some beautiful worksheet, like activities like this. 8th standard, our intern here, you must have noticed that at the end of the chapters, after the question and answers or in between, they've given a lot of activities, like what sir has presented just now. So let us go through all that. Let us go through the entire, let us not leave it just with question and answers and fill in the blanks. Let us go, because Karnataka State Board books are excellent actually. They're very nicely presented and cover everything, including phonetics and activities like this. So let us go and try to emphasize more on the activities rather than just question and answers alone. That's what it is.
So perfect. So even in the textbooks there will be activities like this. Also what we have to remember is generally they are all based on lessons, and the lessons itself will have to be selective now. We are thinking of producing our own chapters, reading for example, and with the approval of Swami we want to bring out our own book, having the selected chapters. So for example, Karnataka State, very good lessons are there, but connected to Paravidya, patriotic chapters, which will expose the children at a very young age to what we say stories of Shivaji, stories of, because that is the age where we have to expose maximum. If you want them that to take root in them, expose them maximum to the stories part. So stories of all patriotic leaders, stories of all great men. That is the age, 6th and 7th. So you have to bring out your own textbook. Completely one textbook you can't follow state, because we have given up state syllabus, we have given up CBSE. We can take the help of those textbooks and select some chapters from them. In fact, we had done, Vrinda's sister was there in that committee at that time. We had selected few best, very good chapters are there in state syllabus, which we had selected. So you can definitely take different textbooks, CBSE textbooks, ICSE, some private books also you can take. There are very good chapters, for example, private books like S. Chand or, there are many from North India also. You have to select beautiful lessons, especially by Indian authors. See, there's another thing. Now, Swami wants Indian authors. So, all this reading section, which we are now going to give marks, now all the 4 will be the common syllabus. Listening, in the common syllabus, each part will have to be carefully seen. Now, for example, Swami wants our children to speak also. Swami wants our children to be very good listeners. See, once he called one boy whose name is Ashok in our in our Gurukulam. He was sitting in front in Premdeep this year, and he said, "Let me see whether you understand." And he started to make him talk. And he said, "Did you understand all that I spoke?" Swami said. So he said, "I understood, Swami. What did you understand?" And he started repeating. So Swami wants to see whether they understand listening. Yesterday he was saying that day in the inauguration, he was telling that. So you should be able to understand everything. You should be able to appreciate all this. So listening comprehension, then reading comprehension. So all these lessons, they come under reading only. This is only one part of the syllabus. See, what generally happens is one textbook is given. The big drawback about textbook, especially when it is from outside textbook, is that you are forced to take all the lessons, whether you like it or not, whether they cater to Swami's expectations or not. You are forced to take, whether it is CBSE or state or anything. So what we have to do, we have to bring out our own textbook. A committee of teachers, senior teachers should do and get it approved from Swami. So that each chapter is approved from Swami, because Swami gives very, very valuable advice, timely advice, saying that this chapter is not good. Because Paravidya, what we are doing, when we are bringing out the Paravidya books, every story, every picture, everything we are getting it approved from Swami. Every small thing. And therefore, see, tomorrow there will be no doubt, there will be no problem, because Bhagwan only is telling this is perfect, this is right, this picture should be there, this illustration must be there in this book, in this chapter. And Swami told so many stories to be replaced. You know, for our Paravidya books that we are bringing out for 6th to 12th, it will come out in another few months. Swami said, remove this story. See, recently before the workshop began, 2 days before, I sent another few chapters for approval. Swami said, this story will not do well. It is not proper. Remove the story. It is not relevant. So we have to now find another story. So like Swami knows best, because when we are giving these textbooks and reading material on his behalf in Gurukulam, when we are supplying it as a textbook, we should see whether Swami approves it or not. Now, for example, all these days we had Julius Caesar in CBSE. It vividly describes murder. I have vividly described murder scene, in front of the classroom for 15 years, and I feel so guilty about it. I have vividly described that scene in front of everybody, vividly. Means I feel so guilty, but because Swami doesn't like all this. Do we need to teach the boys on that? So we have to be very, very careful in selecting the material. So this is just one point. Now I'll write some words before we actually begin this. Why this is required? Why this pronunciation? Why this phonetics is required? So for example, Sister Lata has already given one example yesterday. What was that? When she introduced the problems and challenges, she gave one word, D-U-L-L, and pull, and this is pull, D-U-L-L. This is one pair of words. So let's say, put, but. P-U-T, put, but B-U-T, not but. Okay, then let's say another some words. What is this? It is clearly visible? Whatever I am writing? Okay. What is this? Chalk. What is this? Bald. Bald. La is there. It is not bod. But here it is chalk. It is not bod. L is silent here. Here also L is there, but it is not silent. Many such words. Many such words. Now, for example, now say take what is this? How do we pronounce this? Huh? Mustache. It should be pronounced as mustache. Mustache. How do we pronounce this word? Garage. What has happened? Our dictionary people also, they have felt so embarrassed. In fact, they have adopted many local words. They said, enough of fighting with these people. Let me include it as, because convention makes them forced, Now garage is, earlier it was garage only. But everybody is starting telling this. So majority, such a pressure on them, they have included that word also. Okay, now majority are using this word. Let it be sanctioned. Let it be sanctioned by the dictionary body of the world. So this should be pronounced as garage. M-I-R-A-G-E. Mirage. So, So, different pronunciations. Swami himself gave the best example from his own life. What else we want? To show the importance of pronunciation. National. Swami gave Natty Onal. It was national. He was himself pronouncing it as Natty Onal, Swami said. So we need to know what is the pronunciation. And this we need to make children and students independent of us. That, suppose the teachers are not there. How do we know by ourselves that it is correct or wrong? How do we find out the pronunciation? It is by dictionary. At first, we have to learn the dictionary because then we can depend on internet, because there will be slight changes in internet sometimes. They don't give exactly because according to their convenience, they change some things. So we need to know the standard first, and then only we can, because that's why we have supplied for all children these dictionaries. So they have become now, their 6th and 7th boys, they are very good at that. So now coming to the real, we'll start with the phonetic alphabet. And let me tell you one more thing. See, in alphabetical spellings, the pronunciation is not according to the alphabets, spellings. It is something else. Pronunciation is something else. Whereas in phonetic spellings, which you will write after you learn, it's perfectly scientific. How you are going to pronounce, that way only that spelling will be written. For example, if I say, national, Swami said no, national. So in phonetics, we write it as this. No is N only. A is this. National. A means this symbol. National. Sh is this. You can check with the dictionary. Sh is this. National. Either national or national. So this may be there or this may not be there. Sometimes if it is not an option, they will give it like this, in brackets. Means it may be used or may not be used. National. And again na. Again this is a l. In phonetic spellings, we write phonetic spellings exactly according to pronunciation. So perfectly scientific. How the pronunciation, that way only that it will be there in dictionary, no change. Therefore, it is easier in fact. Actually, it is easier to learn dictionary. You feel joy because there is no confusion. Whereas to learn actual alphabetical spellings and then pronunciation without knowing this is actually complicated. Because we have not done this, we think that, oh, phonetics is so difficult. I'm like, who wants all this? You think that way. If once you know the taste, you feel that it is so interesting and so informative, so educative, it is so good for us. It really, educates us. It really enlightens us. Okay. One boy can help me for one student brother. It will save our time. I don't know. I should not give this troubles and all. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We have our perfect native speaker. I love native language. And many a times I have read out in native way, tried to copy that, but not perfectly. Krishna Tedix is here to correct us and support us because he is original British English, American English. But there are two types which are allowed, British and American. We follow in India British English. Okay, now let me just rub this. Anybody can help if possible. So that I can keep writing here, you can keep rubbing. Okay, no, you can, you should be here only. You will have to be here only. No, because I'll keep doing this. And you keep understanding also. So first let us start with the different sounds which are the basic things necessary for pronunciation. Now for music, what do we say? For music, what do we have? Sorry, I didn't offer you seat. I'm so perfect. Sister is so perfect. She'll correct me and guide me. So many sensitive things and perfect. That's why we should have blessings of sisters and mothers. And we are so fools sometimes, we thoughtlessly we forget certain important etiquette and certain important things which are required for, okay. Now, just as we have in music, Sarigama Padanisa, that basic swaras, sapta swaras, on which only all ragas are built. Take any raga, it will be built on this only, up and down. There's no change about it. All swaras. So any song in the world, you take anything, it cannot go beyond this. Similarly, in English, In all other languages, their own vowels, their own all these swaras will be there. But in English language, we call vowels, diphthongs, consonants. Vowels, diphthongs, and consonants. These are the basic sounds that we have to teach. Generally, we say vowels, the words which begin with A, E, I, O, U. That's not the way to remember actually. Vowels are the sounds which are uttered by the passage of air which is left free from our mouth. For example, when you say okay, whenever that sound comes in any word, in any pronunciation, when it comes, you have to open. See, the passage of air is left free. A is another sound. U is another sound. Is another sound. Apple. We say apple. And children enjoy this sound so much, they'll just enjoy this activity. Phonetics itself is very enjoyable actually. They'll say, sir. They'll have a lot of fun. I tell you, you can just enjoy it. Totally, you can enjoy it. It's not actually boring. So, I'll begin with vowels. And as I repeat first, you have to repeat by seeing the symbols, okay? You have to see the symbols on the board. Don't write down anything now. I'll give you time to write down. So just observe and just repeat together. And I'll write one example also. About, another, again, about, another, again, See, first one was second is and children will say, sir, they'll do all those things, But we should allow them. We should not scold them. We should allow them. Let them have fun. So let them have fun, then they'll be understanding also. If you allow them to have fun, they'll enjoy and they'll learn. If you say, shut up, what you are telling? That's all. It'll end. You're killing them. So, this is little more bigger, it is. Cut. But. Next one is ask. Some of them may not exactly correspond to a dictionary, because I'm just giving some examples to make you understand. I may not be, I may err somewhere, so don't worry, don't hang me there. Our brothers should not say, sir, what is this? It's not corresponding with it. I'm just giving you examples because we are not perfect native speakers who may not know perfectly. Just to give you examples sometimes. Ask, task, mask, ask, task, mask. So I'm underlining the letter where the sound comes. Underlining the letter where the sound comes. Don't be in a hurry to copy it down. You can just first enjoy this. Then we have one more, and it is written like this. Father. The last. So whenever we open our mouth completely, that is Father. So this one. Next one. So all comes in 4 variations. Is in 4 variations. And then comes, next symbol is A. Egg. Step. Help. Okay? Fed. Next is ink, pink, sink. drink, ink, I. Next one is oo, oo, put, foot. See, though F-O-O-T, how do we pronounce? It's not foot. How do we pronounce? That is the, if you ask me why it is like this English, we don't know. It is just convention. We have to accept it. That's why it is difficult to learn English. Swami also told it's difficult because it's all complicated. Nothing, no problem. You have to just accept it. That's why younger the age, quicker they prepare. They learn. Afterwards, if you teach, you will say, waste of time, like that. So catch them young and they will do it. 6th class, they will accept everything. They will accept all these variations with joy, with equal efficiency. They will do it also well. Later, if you try to teach the boys in 9th and 10th level, it's difficult a little bit. Our intern brothers are they are special because they are Swami's gift. Yes, special grace is there on them. You have brothers and sisters, intern brothers and sisters and teachers, specially chosen by Swami, you have that grasping capacity. But generally when you teach it to elders, it's very difficult for them to grasp all this at a later age. Okay, oo. Then oo also has some variations. Little more oo, oo, actual, then oo, F-O-O-D. How do you pronounce? But we pronounce it wrongly. I am extremely sorry. Sorry. Thank you so much. F-O-O-D, it is not food. What we do in India, F-O-O-D is food. Did you have food? It is food. Food. F-O-O-T, foot. You should not say food. It is foot. Keep your foot properly. Okay. Then, ooh, yeah. Yes. Next one is, where is the duster? Brother, oh, I see. You can bring that here only. That chair, you can bring it here. You can bring that chair here. No problem. You have special here. You have special place. And whenever you can keep, I'll just keep or don't, and now you can just copy it down this much. Whatever I have written this much. Or just wait, another 2 I'll finish. With that vowels will finish. Just write, oo is over. Then next one, this is another symbol given in the dictionary. Favorite sound of children. Apple. Cat. Fat. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how we should pronounce it. So, and then last one, this is another very nice sound which children will enjoy this. See this one. What is this? How do you pronounce this? Bird. Curd. Bird. Curd. Churn. Take bidodu. Like that only you should pronounce. If you pronounce like that only, it will be good. Burn. Burn. Churn. Okay, so that's all it is. These are the vowels given in the dictionary. Just you can take it down if you want. 2 minutes I'll give you. Yeah. One mic, if it could be passed around. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, sister. This dictionary is about 800 rupees cost. It is worth purchasing. It is a lifelong help to you. Dictionary is such a good friend of ours. Anytime, because books we keep reading. We keep reading so many books. Books are our best friends. That's the best way to pass time. Therefore, dictionary we should always have in our house. Any house, Bhagavad Gita, dictionary, Bhagavad Gita is a must. And grammar, there's Wren and Martin book. These are standard books which we should have. Grammar, Wren and Martin, we must have. Okay? Yes, sister.
Sir, ball and war, such things, I think they come under the third one, no?
You have really reminded me. I have forgotten to write another 2 because I keep forgetting. You have reminded me rightly, sister. Thank you so much. I'll write another here. Please see, and you can, once you pronounce it, please, all of you, 1 minute hold down. So there is one more. This is the other symbol. All of you say, chalk, dog. Okay, next one is this dirgha. When we say so it comes under this one. And then the next one is this o. So in American pronunciation, this dog. You say the boy. They say this is American pronunciation. O is British. Boy. This dog. Okay, and in fact, Americans say, for example, TOP, top of the terrace. That is, O is British. We all follow that, top of the terrace. Americans, they say, top of the terrace. The top of the terrace. So they make it ah. So, but both are musical. So these two I had forgotten. So O, and O. And anyone who has because I ask the children also like that, because we have so many other things in our mind. I keep, by chance if I forget, you can see the symbols, and if I've forgotten, like sister, you can remind me, I'll just put it off. So, sister. I with double dot, excellent. I forgot. This is small e, ink. There's one more. See, all of you, I'll write here. This is actually, this little bigger e is actually not there, but yeah, sometimes it is there. For example, happy. Happy is there. Say, for example, this word, Happy. What is this? Happy. So it is not happy. But there is one more, even more. If you put 2 dots, dirgha, E. All of you say? E. Sheep. Keep. Leap. Now look at this sentence. L-E-A-P. Why it should not be L-E-E-P? We don't know. The pronunciation is exactly the same. Teeth. T-E-E-T-H. P-E-E-P, peep. Pronunciation is exactly the same. Why it is L-E-A-P? Convention, just follow. Otherwise we'll break our heads. We don't know what is the answer for that. So these are some of that's all. We have now covered everything, I'm sure. We have now covered everything. These are the words. So once can we pronounce it loudly? All of you see here. All of you see here. When I put my hand, you can just see and pronounce. All of it together. 1 second you hold on, and then you can copy it and finish it. I'll give you 2 minutes. E, U, A, We have covered. Is it enough practice? So this is just the knowledge that we have. We have to cover the whole thing today only. Therefore, I may not be able to give more examples, more. So once we'll do like this and finish it off, we have to explore the word also. We have to learn how to explore. Then you can do it slowly and learn it again in your respective campuses when you go. You can ask any help from me. Anytime you can call me, anytime, anything you want, we are there to help you. And you can, once you become a trainer, you can teach many more. Once you know this very well, that's why in 6th and 7th, if we make it a part, mandatory part for doing it, the teacher will learn more. 6th and 7th, when you teach this and do activities, tests on the dictation test, I'll show you how to conduct dictation tests on this and all. So this only, just as we said A, B, C, D, alphabets. Similarly, you have to pronounce A, they have to write one example. Or you say about, they have to write this. Or like that, there are kind of dictation tests that we have to give. So all assessment should be done on this. And this, if you don't teach at 6th class level, afterwards no use. That's why this repeatedly we have to keep remembering that we have to finish this in 6th class. So you can copy it out. I'll just give you 2 minutes. If necessary, don't have to copy examples. It will take more time. Just copy the symbols you have understood. Copy of the symbols quickly. I'll give you 2 minutes. Any doubts? You can ask me quickly in 1 or 2 minutes if you have. Just 2 minutes. It is there in the dictionary. If you have a dictionary, but right now, so you let to remember, you can just, because right away you don't have the dictionary. But my sincere request is, if you don't have any problems, kindly purchase it off. If you don't have any problems, personally you can purchase it off. See, if we keep waiting for they should provide or institution should provide, it will not. See, many of the things what I do, we just don't ask anybody. We just go ahead and purchase. It's our school, our institution. Finally, everything Swami has given us. The Swami is only it is. Therefore. No, these are the 2 standard dictionaries where all the words will be there. All the words in the world. One is Oxford's Advanced Learners Dictionary. The other one is Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English. Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English. These have all the words. So please use only this to learn. In the beginning, use only this to learn. Later, you can have any dictionary to just handy, it will be handy for you to use it. But for learning it, these 2 standard you must and should have. Please purchase it off. My sincere request is purchase it off, and once you learn it, is so enjoyable. Page number. Page number, those who have this dictionary, own dictionary, now you are having this, page number 8, R30, last, this. It is written here, blue, R30, pronunciation and phonetic symbol, R30. Thank you, sister. Mention pronunciation, but when we write in phonetic spelling, the spelling will be different. Sebastian, cha is different. That cha is consonants. So this is vowels. We will learn vowels now, and now we are now pushing on to consonants. Have you all copied it? Can we, before we start diphthongs, we'll do one activity. We'll finish off on this pending act. Higher children, generally it is for higher, 6 and 7, they would not have learnt any vocabulary. Once you teach them all this, they'll start learning. See, after you teach them all this, and then side by side you are exposing them to informal reading and informal listening, audio visuals, their vocabulary keeps increasing. And then when you finish it, see, some teachers, it depends on some people, they may finish it in 6 months only. Some people may take to teach all this, phonetics and handwriting, complete year. Some people, it doesn't matter, you take it. But the point is you teach all this. And then when you expose real teaching of lessons, some 8 to 10 lessons you teach, or 7, 8 lessons you teach, how to read the chapter and all that. They would have already learnt much. 75% of job will be easy because informal reading. Don't teach anything, just provide storybooks. Don't tell them. If they ask, you tell. If they say, sir, how to pronounce this, madam, how to pronounce this, then you help them. But don't otherwise help. Storybooks reading, how they should do, they should be they themselves should guess. Children, they guess the mother tongue, like that they should guess and they should start guessing the meanings of the words. That's how storybooks should be read. And with the pictures, Amar Chitra Kathas are suitable for this because with pictures they'll be able to understand. If you simply give script, with pictures, such kind of storybooks, you should have plenty, I tell you, plenty of storybooks, never-ending kind of story, because they must not feel that it is enough. Stock is over. You must give them plenty. So have plenty of storybooks for 6th and 7th class level. And then if it is less also, no problem, because they would have learnt much. So, so this is one such for higher children who already have some vocabulary. It may not be suitable for 6th and 7th. Listen to 2 speakers debating on the topic. I may not read the whole thing, maybe a paragraph or 2. School uniforms should be banned, and 2 students can be designated for this task. In always debates, see, our children, Swami expects that they must talk like that. They must speak with confidence. You must stand on the stage with confidence. Self-confidence must be your motto. And you must be able to debate. You must be able to strongly put forth your opinion in front of big people, in front of... Swami expects that. Swami will send all youngsters as pracharaks. He's sending them as messengers of Swami. He said once, my spokespersons are ready. Now I need not talk, he said. Once he told in Premamritam. My spokespersons are ready. Now I need not talk. They will talk on my behalf, he said. So we should be, very confident in this. And we should practice it. Alone we should practice it. When you just shut yourself in the room and you start practicing. You can't think that the audience is there. Practice such kind of pronunciations, practice such kind of intonations, and feel confident about yourself. So this is two speakers debating on the topic. So in debates, there are two things. You are two persons. One person will talk on the motion, for the motion. The other person will be against the topic. He will try to oppose. So you should choose anyone. And whenever you select children for debates, you should not force them to talk, you should leave the choice to them. Because whatever comes from within only will come out well. So you say, whoever wants to talk for the topic, whoever wants to talk against the topic. And then you select the names. And then there are two types of debates. One is, the one person can completely finish the debate. And then other person will start his debate against the motion. The other way is, one person will tell one thing, and immediately the other person stands up and refutes that. So, it's like corresponding, refuting and for supporting. So I'll just read this, how debates should be conducted. And wherever debates and such things, even Shankaracharya debated with whom? With Mandana Mishra. So he defeated him in debate. So debate does not mean that we have to start quarreling. It is in a very decent and nice way that you're putting forth your argument with a supporting, logic behind you. Very logic. My dear friend has just now proposed. I beg to differ from that. So you should use standard phrases like that. I beg to differ from that. Because in society, in convention, we see very clearly, and you have to put forth arguments using some beautiful phrases that way. Just now my friend has put it very well, but he has forgotten to understand this. This kind of phrases we have to use when we talk. So for example, debate motion. What is the topic? School uniforms should be banned. This is one topic given, that's all. I'll just read it. It's interesting, simply, you'll enjoy it. Respected chairpersons, members of the jury, a very good morning to you all. Today, I, Manish, stand before you to express my views in support of the motion. School uniforms should be banned. While some of my friends may argue that by having a uniform, you remove the pressure to keep up with the latest fashions, that it removes the barrier between the classes, and that it shows a pride in the school, I feel that abolishing uniform allows a freedom of expression. I think school uniforms are not a very good idea because they do not allow students the freedom to choose what they want to wear. Why must students wear the same thing every day and not express themselves in the clothing they wear? Everyone should enjoy and love how they look and choose what they want to wear to school. Thus, uniform is not a good thing because it takes away our personality and our identity. All pupils wear the same clothes and submit to regimentation as in the army. Moreover, the uniform can be quite expensive for parents and can be a prohibitive expense for families, especially those struggling to make both ends meet or those with more than one child in school. And in many cases, purchasing one school uniform is insufficient, as students will need multiple uniforms to wear throughout the week, as well as separate uniforms suitable for different types of weather. So on and on like this, it goes on and on. So exactly suiting the, with exclamatory mark, with question marks, you should express all that in your speech. All this punctuation, you should express all that in your speech. And why must, you should show expressions in the face also when you're speaking. Why should we have school uniforms at all? You must show desperation sometimes and frustration. Sometimes, they do all this now. I must say therefore. Therefore, I beg to differ from you. And they also beat the desk like judges, sometimes, order, order. And all that is required sometimes, You can say that that can be used. Let me say against one paragraph. Let me read against one or two paragraphs. In some countries, like India, the UK, Japan, Hong Kong, and several African countries, school uniforms are worn in almost every school. In other countries, like the United States, France, and Germany, school uniforms are only worn in a few schools. This is... correct. However, in these countries too, the general opinion is changing. Both France and Germany have recently considered bringing school uniforms back And in the USA, the percentage of public schools in which children wear a uniform has increased from 11.8 in 1999-2000 to 17.5 in 2000, 2007 and 8. On the other hand, some schools in the UK have got rid of school uniforms. This trend shows the need for wearing school uniforms. Respected chairpersons, members of the jury, and my dear friends, I, Shweta, I'm sorry, I did not do that kind of modulation here. Let me change the name. I, Dhanush, stand before you to oppose the motion school uniforms should be banned. I strongly feel school uniforms should not be banned. Because in a country like India, where some people cannot afford many clothes, especially as trends change, it is better for students to wear a school uniform, as they don't have to look for clothes to wear daily or worry about being teased because they don't have any fashionable clothes. See how you have to put forth your arguments. So this way we have to teach them debate. So this is one such activity. See, spoken language activities we don't do at all. Generally what happens is, this should have a syllabus, especially for 8th, 9th, 10th. What do? We don't do much of anything. We just have, generally what we are doing is, for English, we have a chapter, we say these are the portion, these are the question answers from, and whatever we just follow the exercises given at the end of the chapters. That's all. We don't invent anything new also. So we have to go behind all, we have to invent our own. So LSRW should be the common assessment and common syllabus for LSRW. Listening for 6th class, listening for 7th class, listening for 8th class. You have your own portions, what all to show. I will in fact, in Friday or Saturday, I'm showing 1 hour of video also. What kind of audio visuals should be shown? What kind of audio visuals must be shown? I'll show you scintillating ones. Scintillating ones. You will just enjoy it. The way it is presented, you know, children will get mesmerized. They'll get mesmerized. Oh, and they'll feel our class is so enjoyable. So audio visual is a very, very important tool. Very beautiful tool it is. So I think this is enough for debate. Now let me continue this diphthongs now. Right here only. This is right? You have all understood. This is Now we have mixed sounds. Suppose I mix and u. Okay? Now don't check it with dictionary and all. Now just close everything, close the books, and you just concentrate here, what I'm telling. So and u. Now this is, first one is second one is u. We have already seen. If you mix these sounds, it becomes ow. All of you say ow. 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 Go. Now. Go. No. Show. So, ow. Next one, suppose I say ah, oo, ow, ow, now, now. I'm writing fast, my handwriting is not good. So this is not my real handwriting. Don't follow this because I'm writing fast. I'll show you cursive writing later from the beginning how it should be done. So this is the pronunciation. I'm underlining the letters where it should be pronounced that way. Ow. The next one is a and a. 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 Hey. Hey, play, care. Actually, C-A-R-E, we say care, care. We should say care. Prayer. We should not pronounce ra. We should say prayer. Prayer. We should not say prayer. Prayer. R. That r should not be there. But anyway, we don't have to change anything, just to know actual pronunciation, how it should be according to dictionary. We don't have to change from tomorrow. We are not going to say what this is, you are pronouncing this way. We have to continue in our Indian convention, just to know. Actually, where it will be useful, I'll tell you. This phonetics is useful only when it comes to reading new books. And when it comes to, okay, pronouncing better, but Indian accent is allowed nowadays. Whatever you have learned, you can allow. So don't have to worry much about it. When we read new books, we come across new words, then it is that, new words, anyway we have to learn pronunciation. So that time we can learn this from the dictionary properly. So whatever you already know, please continue with the same Indian accent, no problem. So, A. How do we pronounce hair? Is there any plural for hair? Hairs. No, there is no plural actually. Plural also is hair. Correct, no sir? Hair, that itself is plural. There is no singular, both are same, correct. Singular also, plural also. Similarly, even deer also, D-E-E-R. There also actually it's a flock. You can use it for plural, you can use it for singular. All right. A. Then next one is A and E. A and E when it is combined, A, take, make, fake, sake. Generally we Indians we say make, take it. But we should actual pronunciation is take it. If you really want to enjoy a native English, beautiful English, I tell you, take it. Absolutely. Now, this is mine. In India, we all say mine, fine, mine. Right. Conductor will right. Generally, conductors they say right. But actually, in actual correct English, right. This is right. This is mine. Oh, fine. I'm fine. See, I'm fine. You should say I'm fine. If you get used to that, you don't feel like after say fine, mine. You don't feel like telling that. If you get used to correct English. But of course, we can continue with whatever we are comfortable with, no problem. Then this is A. So this is take, make. Next one. Again, I request somebody to, Suma madam knows well, so you can just correct me if I have forgotten something, sister. A is over, then E and A. And also, sister is not having. Sister also knows fully. She's also teaching. So this E and A, ear, fear, dear. So ear. See E and A, or even D-E-E-R also dear. Dear only it is, dear. Then next one, so ow, ear, ear, ooh. Say oo and when it combines, ooh. Pure, cure, C-U-R-E, cure, we say cure, it is actually cure. Tour, T-O-U-R. How do you pronounce it? It is actually tour. I went on a tour. We should not say tour. We say tour. I have gone on tour. Why I'm saying is, see, just as they appreciate, they will, when they say, Papa, see, when Britishers, when they were speaking Kannada, we will be cursing. What is this? They speak like, Ki thura chenama. Kannada, bodak baralla, manak baralla, matadtare, anta. Now, see, when we tell. Similarly, will they not feel bad if we torture their words? We should learn their way of speaking, actually. We should at least know it. We should at least appreciate it. So just as they feel bad, we may also feel bad. So similarly, we should learn it, at least to knowledge sake, we should know it. So this is tour, pure. See, T-O-U-R, it is tour. P-U-R-E, that is also same pronunciation. Look at the difference. P-U-R-E, pure. T-O-U-R, tour. That's also same pronunciation. So therefore, let's note this. Next one is, little bigger one you already know, actual. Ooh, little bigger one, actual. That already you know. So that's okay. Then you told something? That's very good. Excellent. See, this is why our Mahidhar brother, without even my writing and telling that sound, he has already guessed. What about I? So this is, see, one is this big R and E. So this becomes I, mine, fine, shine. So this is shine. See, S-H-I-N-E. It's not shine. It is shine. Fine. I'm fine. Okay, so anything else? Sister? Huh? Oi. So this O and E. What is this? O and E. It becomes oi. And O and E becomes oi. Joy. Okay, some things will not flash in our mind because such words are little less. So when it flash, I'll tell you. Next one, that's all, no, sister? So we have covered all the diphthongs. They are called diphthongs. So sorry. See, the lines are already made. I'll just write it according to that only. This is how cursive writing. I've just written informally diphthongs. So they are called diphthongs. There's a mixture of vowels, combination of vowels. So kindly write it down. 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes. You can write only symbols. You can write only symbols. Only we feel that it is difficult and we feel that it is complicated, but they pick up very fast. Okay. Once again. Huh? Ooh, that's what, actual. I've written, but same thing, which I mentioned last time, actual. Yeah.
Should we pronounce them in that way? For example, Muddenahalli is pronounced as Muddanahalli or something.
That's okay. Kannada words, conventionally, whatever, Muddenahalli, some people will, that's not a problem. Kannada words we can, we don't have to, in fact, what madam said is very relevant because I saw in Longman dictionary, even some words, Hindi words, because it's used in English now, they have added such words in, that is also there, because for their convenience, they have added 1 or 2 local words of India also in the dictionary. It is there. 1 or 2 conventional words are there. But anyway, that is pronounced as it is. That's not a problem.
For example, Sanskrit is used as Sanskrit.
Yeah. Because of their, yeah.
Why should we use like that?
Yeah, that's why in fact actually, that is debatable. Means, for example, now that is why Bengaluru, why it was changed? Bangalore it was done by Britishers in those days, Bangalore. Then we felt, this is our Bengaluru. So, Kolkata, for example, Calcutta, we were saying Calcutta, all these years, how many years after independence, till 1947 to 2000 somewhere, 5 only, after 2005 only this was changed, isn't it? I think almost many years, 50 years. So then it became Kolkata. So native way they are now speaking, because that's correct also, it's perfect. English has its place and our native place. Swami said no.
So we pronounce schedule, we say.
It can be
and
produced.
Schedule, Americans
both
say.
are allowed.
Yeah, so
both are allowed. If you pronounce schedule, it should be schedule. 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 If you pronounce schedule, schedule. Oo, small oo. If you pronounce it as schedule. Oo, it should be. You can see in the dictionary. In the dictionary it is given schedule. If you pronounce schedule. Schedule is ready. Yeah. One is American, one is this. They themselves have differences, means, they have made, they swallow many of the words. But British is I think it's because standard. Because it started with British. British English is the standard actually. We follow British English. Now, consonants. Quickly we'll finish off consonants. Quite easy consonants. All of you concentrate. First let me write here. I'll just write the words first. You can also keep writing off. Along with me, just write off, then we'll learn. So we'll save time. Just write off. And you can understand also. Underline the words. Keep writing along with me so that we'll save time. Sister, I've covered everything. Ah, yes, perfect. You know this? Oh, nice. Very nice. Correct. TT. So these are the consonants. No, no, symbol is there. Ch symbol. I have underlined the sound. CH is pronounced as ch. The ch symbol is this. T and that. Just a symbol. You have to by heart that symbol. Okay. So let's see here. Very simple. Consonants are very easy. P, pen. B, best. K, kite. G, get. H, hat. R, rat. F, fat. V, see, v, van. W, wax. One is v. Teeth is touching the lower lip. V, vain. Vain is your glory. Vain. Van. But another is w. Another one is just both the lips just come forward, that's all. W, waste. Weight. Wax. S, sound. Sink. Z, zoo. T, task. D, doll. M, man. N, nest. Sh, shut up. Don't tell me. Shelf. Ch, chalk. J, joke. J, pleasure. Th, the tongue is in between the two teeth. Th, we say no. Thu, we say no. Don't do it. Don't give that example, but that's the best sound. Th, through. through, throw, the, T-H-E, the. This is a nice one. King, monkey, that is the sound. This is y, yes, yacht. Then l, lamp. So only different symbols are there. For example, one is th, one is sh, ch, j, zh, pleasure, treasure, zh. Generally, zh is used in French. No? Zh, kamatalabu, sarva, marsibuku, sababya. You know, French is very good because when I had gone there with my father, I learnt a little bit of conversation in French. Very, very interesting. French is a beautiful language actually. And this is, and only one more change is here. Only this much change. Ch, j, and then ch, j, and th, and j. That's all. These are the only changes. All others are same letters. D for d, T for t, th, that's all. All others are the same letter symbols. So we'll pronounce it once again. Here we'll pronounce it. If I've forgotten here anything, you just remind me. Here it will be very clear more. So we'll say once again. Anything forgotten? Which one? Huh? Cube. What? Cure. C-U-R-E. Huh? Q. How to pronounce this? Q. C-U-E. There's a Q, you know. We don't give a Q, we say. Q. K, Y, U, Q. Q only. It is pronounced as Q. There's no here. It is not there separately as sound. Yeah. See, for example, queen. Q-U-E-E-N. When we say Q-U-E-E-N, we say K. It is split into the split sounds. Say, for example, we'll come to all that pronunciation when we start pronouncing it. For example, queen, how do we pronounce? We don't say there is a separate sound for Q because queen, how do we pronounce? K, V is there. Queen, E is there. So here, K, queen, V is there. So V and then E, two dots and na, queen, queen. So Q is just a letter. There is no pronunciation. Pronunciation is broken up into all this, only these sounds. Whatever we have mentioned now, only these are the basic sounds with which all letters, alphabets are covered. Okay, so now let's do 2 times practice, and hopefully, what's the time now? We'll finish with this one and have a break. P, B, K, G, L, M, N, H, R, F, H, S, Z, V, W, Y, Th, D, Sh. It's all small, half of pronunciation. Sh. It is not sh. Sh means sh and becomes sh. It is sh, sh, ch, j, j, p, b, k, g, l, m, n, h, r, f, h, s, z, v, w, y, th, d, sh, ch, j, j, Now I'll show the hands. You should pronounce loudly. Loud together pronunciation. Okay? Loud together pronunciation. Only half pronunciation. Everything. S. Y. The J is a symbol for Y. J is a symbol for Y. ch, j, 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 Okay, so I think we have done this. Now we'll have a break. It's 10 o'clock. We'll have 10. We request you to, because today a lot of things we have to cover, portions still we have to give. Kindly, if you don't mind, kindly get at the earliest. 10 minutes break. Thank you so much. 10 minutes, kindly get back. 10 minutes break. Thank you. Way you can do it for your children. So what we can do, first itself you can write neatly on the board. This board also look to be little, we need a little more space. So if everything has to be written in one go, this is for you. You can write part by part for children. But just for your sake, I'm just writing this once again. So this demo can be used by campuses for teaching, not the previous one. The previous one was little crammed when I had written. It was not visible certain words. So this I have made it little better and clearly we have written. So let's revise this once. So everything, we'll revise it the way we have to teach children. Om Shri Sai Ram. So these are the basic sounds with which we learn all the pronunciations of all the words in English language. Just as we have swaras and sarigama, padanisa, we have for music, based on which all the ragas are built. All the ragas are made up of these basic saptaswaras. Similarly, these basic sounds will give the pronunciation for all the words in English. Let's see what are those sounds. First type, it is called vowels, where we, these are vowels, first one, where we open the mouth and let the passage of air flow freely. They are called vowels. Let us revise it once. About, cut, ask, father, egg, ink, happy, sheep, put, put. So, egg, happy, sheep, put, actual, pool, cool, boy, boy, axe, bird, go, ow, now, I, mine, take, hair, ear, near, pure, actual, oi, boy, oi, boy. Consonants, p, pen, b, best, k, kite, g, get, s, sink, z, zoo, v, vein, w, wax, h, hen, y, yes, r, rat, m, man, n, nest, l, lamp, tea, doll, shoe, chalk, joke, leisure, throw, king, king. So one last time in 2 minutes, now you have to pronounce yourself. I'll just keep the scale. Just keep the scale and randomly I will put now. Randomly I'll put the scales. All of it together, keep focusing here. Wherever I put, you have to tell loudly. Wherever I put. A. 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 Take biಡ್ಬೇಕು belches. Out. I. A and A. Now here we notice that even in diphthongs, passage of air is left free. See, A, E, U. In all these diphthongs also, the passage of air is left free. But now when we come to, some more are there, diphthongs. I, Oi. So everywhere you see Oi, I, everywhere you see there is a passage of air is left free. Passage of air is left free. Whereas now, what is the difference between consonant pronunciation? Consonant letters, when we pronounce these consonants, it is, the sound is produced by closing of the lips or by the touching of the tongue in different palates, in different positions in the upper palate. See, sh, for example, the middle of the tongue is touching somewhere. Sh. For example, j, the front portion of the tongue is touching the upper palate of the front portion of the jaw. Ch. Similarly, j, back portion of the tongue is touching the upper portion. J, pleasure. If you observe that, you'll understand. And one more thing to note here is, see this for example, p, these sounds consonants. If you just notice, p is coming from lips here, p, b is coming from inside. One is coming from here, one is coming from inside. P, b, k, g. See? S, z. Like that. Many of them, they are like that. So once we will pronounce these consonants, the sounds are produced by the closing of the lips or by the touching of the tongue in different parts of the mouth, jaw, upper portion of the jaw. So this p. What is that? This is, sorry, this is actually lamp. This is not. L. Here only you should remember. Sh, sh, j, j, th, d, ng. That's all. These are the basic sounds. Okay. Now next stage, before going to the next stage, we'll have little diversion. We'll give last one, this one also. So this you can do it yourself. I don't have to just like this. These are all homework. Now these 3 handouts which I have distributed, I request at least some group should do some or the other activity. You have to prepare yourself sometime. And so for example, there is burglars interview is there. Police inspector's interview. Somebody, two people, and similarly the first one, debate we have given you. Some 2 people can prepare. Our intern brothers and sisters are there, or teachers, whoever are interested. You have to decide with each other. I'll speak for, you speak against. Because sometimes what happens, in pairs if you prepare, whatever you talk, for that relevantly you have to oppose. You can't simply, like for example, you can't say, I will talk for, somebody let them talk, because they will have their own arguments. So pairs only you have to prepare. Because whatever arguments you are putting forth, for that relevantly he should oppose. For those arguments he should oppose. Therefore, this should be prepared in pairs. So please, can we expect this performance? After 1 or 2 days. I'll give you time, maybe on Saturday. Can we expect this? Is it okay? This homework, This is one kind of homework we are giving in 2-3 days, and Saturday probably we'll have this. It will be very good, and we'll record it, and it will inspire many, many people. It will inspire many. For the sake of many people, kindly I request you to prepare this, whoever. This is the last one which I'm giving. Whoever wants to do, one is interview, the conversation role play. One is that, what was that? Debate. The other one, this radio show. You can choose anyone among these 4, but all should have done something or the other. That's all. I'll not more delineate on that. I'll not specify more on this. I'll leave it to you choice. You can discuss with each other and come out with it. This is the last sports commentary, because we have seen our sports commentary here. So I just wanted to give one sports commentary. Here half. So here also 2 people in pairs only will have to tell. One commentator, another 2 commentators, and how they actually do commentary of sports. It will be very greatly useful for our sisters, interns and brothers interns, because in sisters campus, in girls campuses and boys campuses, Swami once told, 20,000 people will come here one day for sports meet. 20,000 he told, one day he declared that. That means our boys will have to prepare in future. They will have to become commentators. So you will have to lead others. You will have to show by example. Somehow or the other, see, if we don't do this, we are not inspiring others at all. It is our bounden duty to do all these things and inspire the younger generation. We have to train others also. So this, and teachers also. Teachers also can inspire the students by doing very well, good commentary and all that. So this much we have done. I will not read this anyhow. Now let us go to the next stage, which I would call it now the very important stage. Here I would request you to, this you can go through later. Now you can just keep this inside your kit. Now I'll just take you through this very important stage of what we say, learning the exploration of dictionary words. Now you can open the dictionary, keep your dictionaries open and just see the board. Next stage is to learn, now what is a syllable? Now that we have learned vowels, diphthongs and consonants, we will learn what is called a syllable. And then we should know what is lower stress, upper stress. And then directly we have to go explore the words in the dictionary. It will be a very great adventure. Very nice it will be. So what is a syllable? Now just say, what is a syllable? See, I have written one word, syllable. What is this? Let's say. Now, I will just, you can focus here. It will be very interesting. I will write a word and I'll show you how the word is pronounced and what is a syllable. See, for example, now if I write X, A, me, nation. I have written this word, examination. Okay? Now here, when we pronounce this word, examination, how many times we open our mouth? At one stretch of pronunciation, that is called one syllable. Now say for example, I say X, X. Once I say X. Again I have to open my mouth and say A, A. Smallest stretch of one unit of pronunciation. X is once I say, again I say A, again I say me, then I say nay. See, once I say nay. Again I have to open my mouth and say shun, shun. That's all. So how many times totally? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5-syllable word. I call it 5-syllable word. Okay? So now there is something called lower stress and upper stress. There is something called lower stress and upper stress. Now I may write it wrongly here. When you check it, just for the sake of making you understand, I will write lower stress and upper stress. It may be wrong, it may be erroneous. Only for the sake of making you understand the concept I am writing, you may check with other words. Later we will come to the real words. Now say, first let us learn only syllable. Then I will give you some examples of syllables. Then we will go to lower stress and upper stress. X, A, me, nation. Now I'll give you some words. All of you tell me. First one, say similarly. All right. Say O-B-V-I-O-U-S. How do we pronounce this word? Obvious. Obvious. Now, when we pronounce this, ah. Smallest stretch of pronunciation. Aw. Aw is one. Aw only we say. Aw or ob. Ob. Either we say aw or b. Ob. V. Either V or V. Doesn't matter. V or V. Ob. V. Es. Es. 3. 1, 2, 3. This you have to understand very well. This concept you have to understand very well. Syllable. Then you will understand how to find, explore and find pronunciations from the dictionary. You will be able to understand. Obvious. Next one. Let's say one example. Next one. So say simple one. L-A-K-E. First one is lay. Lay. Or is it lay or ka is separate? Or do we say lake? Do we say lake, we say separately, or do we say lake? One only, no? The whole thing is one, right? Therefore, it is not, there is no difference here difference. Therefore, this is how many syllable? One syllable word. Take. We say only once. We don't say take. We don't say like that. We say take. So this is one syllable word. Let us say two syllable word. I am writing two syllable word. Which are the two syllable words? Say for example, for, O-R-E-S-T. Suppose I write like this. How do we pronounce? First, for, rest, rest. Only once. See? Rest. So how many syllables? Two syllable word. Two syllable word. Got it, all of you? So now I'll give you some words. You have to write how many syllables. You have to write it in your notebook. I'll give you a small dictation kind of mock test. And you have to find out number of syllables for this. Then we'll explore the words of pronunciation. You have to listen to my pronunciation. You have to listen to my pronunciation and then write how many syllables. You can write the word also if you want, in alphabetical. If you know the spelling, you write it. Otherwise, just listen to my pronunciation and write how many syllables. Then we'll check with the answers. Appeal. I'll repeat 3-4 times. You can concentrate on the pronunciation and write how many syllables. Appeal. 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 We'll check the answers later. Now you just write and keep your answers. Then we'll come down to check the answers. Then you have to give one mark for your own self. For each word you have to give 1 mark. And you have to put total marks. 10 words I'll give you now. Next one. Next one. Break. 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 Next one. Somebody should keep it. Krishna sir, can you write the words for me to have a reference? Okay. I mean, you can write the words also because I need some reference. I might forget the word. So Krishna sir will write and you sir will write. Suma sister also can write. Break over. Next. I'm just teaching the way I have taught the children. And you have to teach the same way to your children. So first we learned the vowels, diphthongs, consonants. Now we are learning syllable. Next one. Detached. Detached. You have to carefully listen to my pronunciation and see here, if necessary, how I pronounce my word. Detached. Detached. How many times I'm opening my mouth and how many times I'm once again pronouncing. Detached. 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 Okay, next word. Ready? Next word, ready? economical, 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 eco or eco doesn't matter, economical, economical, economical. When I say fast, economical. I say fast, economical. How many syllables are there? Carefully, you have to once again split that. You have to split that and see how many syllables are there. Economical. Okay, I'll start. Okay. Economical. Then next one. Next one. Fundamental. 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 You can write the word, put a dash and write syllables, total number of syllables. Fundamental. Next one. Ground. Ground. Carefully listen. Ground. 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 Next one. Immaculate. 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 Actually, there's this word illusion is there, no? We should pronounce it as illusion. Illusion. It is not illusion. We all say illusion. But it should be pronounced as illusion. That's the only pronunciation given in the dictionary. Illusion. See, it's totally little different. We have learnt all, it has become wrong, but that wrong has become right. We have understood it wrongly, but now it's difficult to change. So anyway, it's just for we don't have to change. We can keep continuing to say illusion, but, so you say, now you can write this word only, illusion. 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 Next. Next one. Majority. 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 How many words over? 9 over. One more word. Next one. Origination. Origination. I'll give you another 5 words. It will be a good practice. Then we'll say. Performance. Origination is over. Origination is over. Performance. 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 Or performance. Performance. Both are correct. Performance. It's actually perform only, but we say performance. It's actually both pronunciation are performance. It's performance. Performance only is correct. Only for this. Okay. How many over? How many over? 11. Next one. Probability. 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 You have to split it and see. Pronunciation. Pronunciation. You have to split it. Pronunciation. Pronunciation. How many over? 30. Last two. Recommendation. 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 Repetition. 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 We say no, it should be pronounced as repetition. 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 I'm splitting actually, I should not split. You have to yourself. Okay, over? 15 are over? 15 are over. Appeal. Okay, appeal, no problem. Appeal. So this is upper dash. I'm just writing upper dash. I'll tell you about lower stress, upper stress. I'm writing appeal. Appeal. Two. It is two. Appeal. So you give 1 mark for yourself. Appeal. Is once you have to pronounce, peel again. Appeal. So children will just enjoy this. They'll just enjoy this kind of dictation, telling. The next one.
Break.
Break. And break. Probably there is an upper stress, if I'm not wrong. So break. 1. Correct? Break. Only once I'm pronouncing. Break. So you feel so happy that I have done it correctly. Children also will feel so happy, I have seen the same feeling. So when you give it to your children, you will feel the same happiness. Okay, next one.
Detached.
Detached. Detached. Detached. So detached. Attached. 2. Detached. Detached. Here. Actually, I have not yet taught them stress, just only syllable, but I'll write it. So, no problem. You will come to know, you will also guess it. Detached. Detached. Sometimes there is no stress at all. Like, for example, boost. Okay. Forest. There is no stress. Forest. But sometimes the stress is there. You should say appeal, appreciate. Like that, we have to stress. That is called stress. There's something called lower stress, upper stress. Lower stress is there sometimes. For example, I told one word. What was that? I'll come to that word when I come else. Fourth one
is economical.
Economical. No, me, I think there is a lower stress here. Economical. No-me-cal. Economical. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I right? 4? How many got? No. Very fantastic. 4 you got? Economical. You have to split it like that. No problem. If it is wrong, never feel. See, one big mistake. I'll tell you one biggest mistake that we commit for anything is, yes, sister? Correct.
They say 5, yeah. Econ.
Beautiful. No. Really, sister is learning. Economical. Now, here, great. I want to give big hand for her. So, now, important thing is, I wanted to tell something. Before that, I had something in mind, slipped out of mind. Okay, doesn't matter. then there is no stress here. Ika. Ika, okay, stress may be there. We can just check with the dictionary afterwards. Now, next word.
Fundamental.
Fundamental. Funda. Fun. The.
The.
Men. Tal. Fundamental. Fun. The. Mental. So how many?
4.
3, 4. 4 syllables. Fundamental. Probably there is a stress here. Fundamental. Probably there is an upper stress. So now I'm not sure because see we have understood the concepts well. We can never equal the native speakers, but they are perfect. So we have to always be humble to accept this. Okay, we make mistakes. We have to always very, very be humble. Okay, next one.
Ground.
What is it?
Ground.
Ground. I am writing the, sorry. Let me write this. J, G, R, A, U. Ground. And the. Ground. Or there is no stress here. Ground. 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 One stress. Correct?
1. Yes.
Is it correct?
Correct.
Ground. Next one.
Immaculate.
Immaculate. Immaculate. Immaculate. Here there is an upper stress. There will be an upper stress here. Immaculate. 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 How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Late. Okay? There is no lower stress. Here, E is not heard much. Immaculate. When there is no stress, it is feeble. The pronunciation is feeble. See, for example, another, again. How do we pronounce this? This word, how do we pronounce? A-G-A-I-N.
Again.
We should not say again and again. Here we should not use A. Here it is again and again. Again. And here what happens? When we say G, A, na, here see, here there is an upper stress. Again and again. So now when I say this, is very feeble. Is very feeble. This is very, it is not heard. It is almost swallowed. Another. Give me another. So it is like, it is almost like beginning from here. Again and again. You need not, in fact, you can swallow this. So is very feeble. Where there is lower stress, say for example, I have written here somewhere, where, okay, let me come to one more word, then I'll get. Next one.
Okay, illusion.
Illusion. Here also. Na. Here there is an upper stress. Illusion. 3. Illusion. Next one.
Majority.
Majority. So let me write here. 9th one. Majority. So maybe here is an upper stress. Majority. Majority. 1, 2, 3, 4. Majority. Majority. See? Split it, you'll get 4 syllables. Why we need to know the syllables? We need to know where to put the stress. In order to know the stress, where to put the stress, if the stress is here, if there is an upper stress here, it means that syllable you have to stress. That particular syllable you have to stress. Majority. Immaculate. Immaculate. Wherever I put stress, suppose I put a stress here, this upper dash, then this particular syllable, 1 unit of stretch, that should be stressed. Okay? Ah. No, that is learned by hearing, listening. Now, when we listen, native speakers, BBC News and all that, by constantly listening, you come to know how it should be pronounced. See, only by listening, you come to know how it should be pronounced. So this is actually, what has happened is in India, we have less of listening, unfortunately. Less of listening is there. More of reading is there. That's why we are not good speakers, but we are very good in English knowledge. But if you are given to listening more, suppose you listen to BBC News regularly, some native speakers, you'll come to know how they pronounce, you know. So then that is the original pronunciation. Generally, even they also sometimes swallow the words. I'm not saying that's perfect. But in dictionary is the standard thing which is given. So generally, we come to know, now that we are not good in listening, we have to use the pronunciation, we have to use the dictionary to know how it should be pronounced. If you really want to know how it should be pronounced, see the dictionary. Then you'll know the real pronunciation. Otherwise, until then, we have to go on with the Indian accent. So for example, yeah. No, that's what. That stress has to be understood only from the native speakers. Only by listening you come to know. And if you don't know listening, if you want to know where the stress is given, see the dictionary. In dictionary it is given. Lower stress, upper stress. Every word, if the stress is there. Sometimes stress is not there at all. Book. We don't say book. We don't say like that. Okay. Water. For example, when we say water, water. We don't say water. For everything, we don't say like that. But whereas sometimes we say examination. Nay should be stressed. Examination. So some words will have stress at some syllables. All words will not have stress. Sometimes you have to normally pronounce it. Ground. Break. So sometimes there is no stress at all. So how do we know where the stress is? By seeing that word in the dictionary. Where the stress comes, which part it comes. That's why I'm writing it to make you understand. Suppose I write the stress here. Suppose I write it here. It is in the dictionary. It will be. I make less mistakes. I do make mistakes. But I'm little more familiar. Probably little more better than you. Probably that also. So see this immaculate. So when I say immaculate, I put a stress here in front of ma. So that's how from dictionary I come to know. By constantly using dictionary, you'll get that intuition. You'll come to know where the stress is. You can make out, for example, immovable. Immovable. There only stress after E. Correct, no, Krishna sir? So you come to know. See, by using the dictionary constantly, you come to know where for example, repetition. Suppose I say repetition. R-E-P-T and sh-a-na. There is a lower stress here. How should I pronounce? Now, the difference between this and this I'll tell you. Now, for example, again and again, when I say there's no lower stress. Whereas here it is very feeble or it's swallowed. Whereas here it is heard, but not strong. Repetition. Titian is stressed. Repetition is very important. Okay? Is this clear, everybody? Okay. Then any other word?
Yes.
Which one, next one?
Origination.
I'll put this as only a 9th. 10th one is origination. Nation. Origination. See? So, nation. Sometimes, see, for example, originality. Or originality. See, it is like that actually. Originality. There's a lower stress, there's upper stress. Originality. Here, what is this? Origination. Origination. Nation should be upper stress. Generally, all shan is there, no? Nay. See, that A only will be having upper stress. Examination. Origination. Fermentation. There only upper stress will come. So you will get to know it. When you use it frequently, you will get to know. Okay, next word.
Performance.
Performance. See, for example, performance. We have heard. By hearing this pronunciation only, we come to know where the stress is. Performance. So, for is for O. It is actually O. Performance. S. So, it is per one. For is another months. Performance. How many syllables? 1, 2, 3 syllables. Here, origination. 5. Here, repetition. Repetition. 4, repetition. Then this is performance. Performance. And here there is an upper stress here. Performance. So children, what I do generally now here for you, you have been introduced to stress also now. You have been introduced to stress also. Children, what we do is generally we just teach them only syllable first. We don't have to teach them together the stress part, because it may a little bit confuse them. It is too much for them. So just keep telling them how to cut into syllables first. Then introduce this. When they do this 2-3 times dictations you give, 2-3 times you thoroughly give them practice, then they will be prepared to take up the stress part also. Then you just introduce them to the stress. Say like this, if I put a dash, there you have to stress it. Until then, just tell them repetition. Repetition. That's all. Don't stress. Just say repetition. Just to make them the concept clear. Is it clear, dear brothers and sisters? So, okay. So, actually, that's all. We have finished with it. Now, it's now starting the exploration. Exploring the words in the dictionary now. We have to explore the words in the dictionary. Before that, we'll take a small off, and I'll give you now, now you have to do this activity. Okay? Because too much continuously is not. Yeah, somebody, yeah. 3 more words are left. I'm sorry. Tell me.
Next one.
Which one?
Probability.
12th one. Probability. You come to know. Probability. In fact, here, B also will be A only. Probability. It can be A also. If you see the dictionary, probability. Probability. When you write it is ability, but when you pronounce it, probability. So it will be B or E, no problem. B, L or Li. In fact, in pronunciation, Lati. Correct, no, sir? In pronunciation, it should be Lati. It is not Liti. So, generally, this is L and T. Probability. How many?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. Probability. See, we can make out when we say probability. So, it is, stress is here. Starting only. Probability. Correct. So, actually, I am very correct, sister. All IT words. You take this from me, all IT words, ITY ending words will have the stress here, where third syllable from the last, ABILITY, where this is ability. How many syllables? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Third syllable from the last. All ITY words. So there are some rules and regulations, we can remember it. All ITY words will have third syllable from the last stress. Thank you so much, sister. So it is So here actually, probability, there is a lower stress. Probability. Here this is probability. Ability. Here there is an upper stress. 1, 2, 3. Third syllable from the last. Okay, continuity. Take that for example. Continuity. Continuity. Where it should be stress?
Nuity.
Third syllables from the last. Tenuity. Continuity. See the third syllable from the last?
No.
ITY words. Third syllable from the last. From there. 1, 2, 3. Third syllable should be stressed. Okay? So this is a general rule. There are some things like that. But more importantly, we come to know the stress and all that only by listening to native speakers. Only to listening by listening to BBC News and such things. or by reading. If you have a doubt, you can see where the stress is by, if you want to know the pronunciation. Generally, my intention is not to change the accent. That is not our intention. See, our intention in India to teach phonetics is not to change your accent. Please don't think like that. Only intention is when you read, because in India, reading is more, it is more prevalent. So when you read new books, when you don't know any word, then it is that this comes to your rescue. You can see the word, you know how to pronounce, you can continue reading yourself. That is the great advantage. That's the only reason you have to teach phonetics to children. Not for anything, any other purpose. Okay, some words, see in India, if you start stressing too much on pronunciation, for example, even against the conventional pronunciation, you will not be very much appreciated. For example, I don't expect you to always say, this is mine, this is fine, fine. You continue with your normal pronunciation. Then only people will love. In an Indian accent only, Indians will appreciate Indian accent. Only reason is, in India, reading is more prevalent. Therefore, when you read on your own, when you get to know new words, how will you be independent of teachers? How will you learn it? How will you do the silent reading part? How will you yourself study? That is done by this dictionary. It will take care of. So teacher need not read at all. See, after 8th class, you can tell, we have taught, do enough activities through this. Conduct dictation tests like this. And every day, after teaching also, don't leave it even till 10th. Even till 10th, 5 minutes you can keep revising. Give a dictation test until then. Because it keeps a kind of, reminders for them. It gives kind of, drilling for them again and again. And then what you can do, apply all this as soon as possible in children's daily routine. When they read, you say, now you should read and you should only understand the meaning. After you teach 8-10 lessons, means you should have taught them how to read. 8-10 lessons, you have to read loudly. Loud reading by the teacher. Indispensable. In the beginning, for 6th or 7th class. Then when you leave, see, like the swimmer coach, then he leaves the tube also, he gets and he throws him in the water. Like that, you have to leave them. Otherwise, they'll be depending, you will become like a crutches for them. You are making them crippled, handicapped. Permanently, they'll depend on teacher, I want your help, I want your help. 9th and 10th teacher should not teach chapters. They should leave the children to read by themselves. They should explore with the help of dictionary. They must do silent reading. He is a good teacher who makes them independent, who empowers them. Empowering is the word. Empowering is the word. See, I make them independent completely. That is the real help I can give them. They will be really grateful to me. If a student requires a teacher's help always throughout his life, what is the use? In what way a teacher has helped him to make him independent of himself? Student should be able to surpass the teacher. Give them that knowledge by which even student can surpass the teacher. What I am now doing, if I had kept it with myself thinking that I will use all this in my class and I will bring good results, I will not tell anybody, that is selfish. Swami says that is, fish is better than selfish. We have to empower teachers, we have to empower students. Tomorrow somebody will take it up. Okay, I will be forgotten. I may be forgotten tomorrow, my name also will be forgotten. But somebody will take it up and he will preach the same thing, he will teach the same thing, they will become independent, they will be in the limelight. A leader creating another leader, chain reaction, don't worry about your, benefit. See, this is selfless work. This is selfless way of thinking how we should empower others. If you keep thinking for yourself that I should be the teacher, people should depend on me, they should keep asking me doubts, they should only ask me words, I will not teach them, I will not. This is what we actually, even in India, that's what they did, priests and all. No, they didn't reveal the secrets of Veda, they didn't reveal anything to the other lower classes men, thinking that they are Shudras, they are, See, this is the bane of our country. That is why India degenerated. The moment Indians thought that, no, we are Brahmins, I should not give out my knowledge to anybody, we are superior. Only we have a right for Gayatri Mantra. Women don't have at all. Meaningless. In the olden days, even women were wearing, what we say, Janvara also, that sacred thread. All 3 classes had equal right for even Sandhya Vandanam. Kshatriya, Vaishyas, all. Exactly. Girls also. So all are equally entitled. How did we degenerate? The moment India thought that we selfish, only we know that aristocracy. According to me, it should happen. They should all be slaves to me. We should empower the people. We should empower. Give them the secrets. Tell them the truth fully. You be forgotten. Swami Vivekananda says, be a voice without any form. Be a voice without any form. Just be a voice. Give out. Tell whatever you have to tell. Vanish. That's what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, no? So who am I? When they asked this in interview, who am I after all? Those Vedic people, the rishis who gave out Vedas, they have not claimed their names only. Who am I after all? A Prime Minister in front of those rishis who gave out Vedas. What a sentence he told. See, this is empowering. What I'm now teaching you, this is empowering. You may think, what this teacher is teaching all these nonsense, phonetics and all. You don't know in the long run how you are empowering the students. Have patience. When you put a seed inside the ground and when you allow it to grow for some 3 months or something, then only it will yield fruit. Once you yield fruit, you have patience with that, you water it, manure it and you take care of it, then it will become big tree and then it will give so much fruits. It will be so much helpful. Infinite times helpful than what you thought. You have to take care for 6 months, that's all. But it will be a tree for probably 100 years, thousands of years. Therefore, we have to empower the younger generation. This has not been taught at all in any schools. I'm stunned. I learned it myself. I did not learn this. Nobody taught me. I'll reveal one incident which made me, I think probably that's very relevant here. What made me learn this phonetics myself in Muddenhalli when I was here? Can I take 2 minutes for you? I was teaching in one class. I was in 7th standard here, Muddenhalli, and I was teaching. Suddenly what happened when I was teaching, I was very proud about myself, my English and all that. But I didn't know that I was actually I had only half knowledge. I didn't know all this. So I was just teaching. One day, some group of boys, they were making fun, backside, some backbenchers. Where is Murli? Huh? Oh, that's all, no. I thought here, this villain has come back again. And I'm not targeting him. He is a wonderful boy. I tell you, excellent gem he is. These intern boys are, I tell you, boys and sisters, interns, Swamis, my whole hope lies in the younger generation. They will work out the whole problem like lions, have fire and spread all over. They'll go to nooks and corners of India and the world, and they will revolutionize the education. The younger generation will do it. We people, we have already, sun is setting for us. What are we to do? It's a great thing. Why should we say, mine only, I only, everything should happen according to me? It's all foolishness. We have to give way for others. We have to create them and we have to allow them to do. No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Not. So, okay. So, where was my link? What was I telling? So, why did I say backbenchers? So once what happened, when I was teaching, how did I come to this phonetics? When I was teaching, so happened that some boys were in the backside, they were making fun. Then I went, I was furious. I was very, those days Josh, I told you. And I gave them punishment. Stand up. Keep standing like that, And then that person, what he did, that boy, see, if you are full of love and if you understand, if you talk to them, they'll also understand you. But if you are kind of challenge for them, they'll also give tit for tat. Okay, so what they did, so they said, they found out some word which I couldn't pronounce, very difficult word. They called me, sir, how to pronounce this, sir? Then I said, I was perplexed. I said, then I was humble enough, I immediately told him, okay, I will prepare and tell you. At least some good sense prevailed. Some God gave me that good sense. I said, I'll prepare and tell you. I don't know. Then I understood that, oh shit, I'm not able to understand his pronunciation on my own. Then I went to one of the best teachers in Muddenhalli. I don't want to name anybody. I went to he was moving dictionary and all that, he had taken good name. I went to him and I said, sir, how to pronounce this word? And that person said, you have to see the dictionary. Huh? What? And I never knew there's something called phonetics. I never knew something called phonetics. And he said, you see the dictionary and learn. What? Then I went, which dictionary? Then I thought all small dictionaries, it didn't have any pronunciations. Then I brought the best. I said the best, which is having all words. Then I took up and then I saw all these vowels and all this pronunciation. I learned myself. Then after learning, I understood all this. I went through this book. Then I went to that boy and proudly said, you had asked me, so this is the pronunciation. Then it dawned on me that our knowledge is not complete. Tomorrow if a student tells you the same, what? See, we don't have knowledge, we don't have answer. So what we should do? We have to empower them also. So then I decided I will teach 6th and 7th because I was the only teacher from 6th to 10th. So I will teach 6th and 7th this one and then I will apply that to the boys from then onwards for 8 years, nearly 8 to 10 years, 10 to 12 years, not 8 to 10, 10 to 12 years I have applied this. First 5 years I couldn't. In my 17 years of career as an English teacher till now, 12 years I have used this method of teaching 6th, 7th, and then applying that. I have never taught them after 8th class. Very few. For example, some good drama, I would show them intonations. Or poetry, sometimes, very difficult poetry. That also I used to show them and make them only do in groups. Teachers should talk less. A teacher who teaches more is a bad teacher. A teacher who teaches more is a bad teacher. He should allow the students to speak. If you say, I will explain more now, teacher full of Josh, I'm going to explain every word of the poetry, every word, you're killing the language. Poetry should not at all be taught like that. Poetry should be only sung. And another thing is, there are certain things like figures of speech and all that in poetry, ornamentation and all that. You have to bring that to, you have to tell them, enlighten them about all those things. Yeah, personification, alliterations, figures of speech, hyperbole, beautiful. In dramas also it is there. In Julius Caesar, so many such, figures of speeches. You have to bring, nobody teaches that. They simply teach the meaning more than all those ornamental things, the figures of speech, the devices. It is called poetic devices which the poets use. Poetic devices. Those things you have to tell them. So what we generally do is, okay, this is a poem, let me explain word by word, and then you study for exam. This is wrong way of doing it. Wrong way of doing it. Therefore, let us learn the right way and let us teach the right way. Let us not assess poems at all. At the most, if you want to have some kind of, motivation, you can make group recitation or individual recitation and reward them. If those who do well, you reward them. Then others will get, oh, he's getting reward. Positively, you reward them. Then no problem. But don't conduct tests and inculcate fear about poetry. And this also. So therefore, we have actually completed this part. Now, before we go further, one real activity we'll do now, because let us have a kind of little relaxation for this. Have a...
There's three more.
Oh, 3 more words. Okay, tell me. Pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
See, pronunciation, or we'll say appreciation. Some people say pronunciation. Pronunciation is it? Just check. I have a doubt. See, for example, appreciation. It is appreciation. It is not appreciation. We say appreciate, appreciation, differentiation. It is not differentiation, differentiation. Check it with the dictionary if you want. Similarly, pronunciation. See whether it is C or she-ation. Sha is there or sa is there? I have a doubt here. Can you all check one kind of activity? Just check the dictionary and tell me, sha is there or go to that word. Just go to that word, pronunciation word in the dictionary, and see that word and see that phonetic symbol given. C is given, sa is given, or sha is given. Pronunciation correct only then. Sa. C-A-tion. Whereas one more word you just go. Appreciation you go and tell me. Appreciation you find the word. And this is another practice first we have to give to the children. Go to the word, alphabetical order wise. First we have to teach them how to find words in the dictionary. First we have to teach them how to go to the word. Tell them first word of the alphabet, then the second letter of the alphabet. Like that you have to find the word in the dictionary. That itself will take about 1 week, 2 weeks time. Practice. In the beginning you have to go to the word in the dictionary. That will take some time. Going to the word in the dictionary. Sure, no? Appreciation it is. And it's not appreciation. Appreciation. It is similarly differentiation. Differentiate. We say differentiate. Differentiation. Appreciation. Appreciation. Okay. Any other word? Pronunciation is over. Pranan. So I have forgotten now. Pranan. So pra is one. Nun is one. C-A-tion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pronunciation. A, there is upper stress. There is a lower stress probably here. None may be lower stress if I am correct. Pra is feeble. Pra is feeble. Am I right, Krishna sir? Pronunciation, tell me. Pra is feeble. None, there is lower stress. So, how do we pronounce this? See, we have to pronounce this like this. Pra is low, feeble. Pronunci. See, none is clearly heard. Whereas pra is very. Pronunciation. A we have to stress. Pronunci. Even if you swallow that, even if you follow pra, no, none is audible. Pronunciation. That's how it should be pronounced. Okay, last word, anybody? One more word.
Recommendation.
Same thing. It is all the same way. Reka. Or recom. Is it reka or reka only? Reka. It is mendation. Recommendation. Ma. It is ma or a. Ma. Mandation. Reka. See, there is a lower stress. Recommendation. Mandation. So syllable how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again 5. Most of the words 5 is the maximum. Recommend. Okay. In the dictionary is men, Nama? Yes. Okay. Men. So recommend. Okay. Recommendation. Reka. So lower stress, tell me where it is. Reka, is it before ra or is it none? Huh? Yeah. Recommendation.
Yeah.
See, this is how, if you learn the concept, you can find out. You learn the concept, you can find out from the dictionary how it should be. Where you know the concept of lower stress, you know the concept of higher stress, you know the concept of this syllables, you can find out that now you are equipped. Now you are empowered actually. We'll do some practice. Before doing some practice, we'll go to one activity.
One last word. Repetition.
Repetition.
Repetition is the last word.
I've written that. That's over. Last. Repetition.
Okay.
We have finished with that.
Repetition. Okay.
So now let's do this activity before we go to... Yes. Yeah. Yes. Mic. One more mic, is it? Right.
Now in high school, 10th boys, they had to know syllables for the exam. So Sundarbhat sir thought in a different way, and yet was a super hit with the boys. He taught them some jaw method. So what do you think about it, and do you recommend
that can be done.
Okay.
Means when you teach all those pronunciation, you can use all this variety of methods
Just
to...
confirming.
That's all, that's no problem. You can have... See, I'll tell you one thing, brothers and sisters. I'll tell you one thing. It's a very, very important thing to be remembered in our minds always. Basic things are mandatory. What are those basic things? Listening exposure, reading exposure. These are the main things. These are indispensable. Take it from me. If you simply do activities, now suppose we do, without teaching all this, I can keep giving you activities. I can fill you with entertainment whole day. That will not serve any purpose. Take it from me. It will not serve any purpose. We can keep discussing our methods. We do this, we do that. It will not serve any method, any purpose. When it will be useful, see, pickles are useful along with food. Along with food, little pickles will be useful. Food is major portion, and little pickles. Activity, anything you do, it should be like that. The real part of training is not anything more other than just giving exposures. Ours is the job to just give exposure. Children learn by themselves. Let us remember this. Who are we to teach? We are nothing. We should not care a fig about ourselves. We should not care a fig about ourselves. We are the last. We are nothing. We are nobodies. Every child learns by himself. We have to remember. Every child learns by within. He keeps listening. He imitates. Imitation is the art of imagination, says Aristotle. Imitation. We all imitate. How does a dancer become a dancer? He just sees somebody dancing, he gets motivated. Michael Jackson, I get motivated. How he dances, amazing. So another dancer is produced. One gets motivated by another. If you see another speaking very fluently, very nicely, how nice. And if you are able to appreciate that, that means you are also a speaker in the seed form, in the subtle form. If you can appreciate somebody, the same thing is in you also. Without that you cannot. Nothing can be outside man, what is not already inside him. Vivekananda. Nothing can be outside man, what is not already inside him. If you are appreciating me, suppose, it is because you are of the same making. You have the same making in you. That is why you are appreciating it. Otherwise, can I appreciate an art if I don't know anything of that? Suppose I am not at all an artist. I don't know anything, zero about it. Even if you draw the best of pictures, I don't know how to appreciate it. Then I don't make you as an artist. If somebody is calling him an artist, an excellent artist, that artist is in you. That is why you are calling somebody artist. Who is making God? We are making avatars. We are making God. Because our faith, therefore God is responding. God is only reflection, resound and reaction. Who is making God? It is not that God is there as Sathya Sai Baba or Swami or Matsudan Sai. He is there as a separate reality and we are a separate reality. No, this is a big enigma. This is a mystery forever. You cannot unravel it. This mystery is unraveled forever. Who is making God? We are making God. Therefore, it is our faith. Therefore, the thing that we have to give it to the children is, what we have to give to children is just exposure. We have to expose them to the best of everything. Expose them to best artists. Expose them to best of the fine arts. Expose them to best of the speeches. They will listen, they will become that great person. Who are we? We are nobody. We have to just give exposure. If you talk too much, you are harming as a teacher. Don't teach too much. Put audio visuals. Let them talk. Do that kind of felicitation work as a teacher. You talk little, less. Om Shri Sai Ram, let us do this activity. Come on. That's all. Minimum talking by teachers and maximum majority of the participation by students. In the beginning, teacher will have to teach more. 6th and 7th, he will have to talk more. They will keep listening. They don't know how to talk. Gradually from 8th and 9th and 10th, we have to teach less. We have to talk less. They should talk more. 6th and 7th, you have to talk more, no doubt. You have to, because they have still not learned to talk. They are still in the process of listening process. They are still in that process. The listening process will lead you to talking. So listening and reading are the inputs. Speaking and writing are the inputs. You have to give them well. Inputs you have to give them well. Before even giving inputs, say for example, before even the egg is hatched, we just break that. Will the hen be hatched? Before the time is ripe, we want that result. We are not patient enough to give them long rope. You take it from me, a boy. You know, when I started talking, if I'm talking like this today, I was an introvert for 5-6 years. I had withdrawn myself inside myself. I was just reading complete works of Vivekananda. Once upon a time, I was just like complete Mauni, complete in my college. I used to put this one and I used to put Janvara and this one. I used to go to my college, keeping my heads down. If somebody asked me, in my classes, all my sisters and brothers were sitting, they were asking me notes. I used to give them like this. I have practiced like this, not talking for 4 years. And then what happened? Reading those works of Vivekananda, I started giving speech. One fine day I found myself speaking so well, speaking so well. You cannot believe it. I tell you, speech comes out of silence actually. Speech comes out of silent, what we say? Reflection, silent rumination, silent contemplation, meditation. This is very, very important. So therefore, first 2 years, don't expect them to speak. Don't expect them, don't torture them and start telling, I'll conduct a test, now you should speak. Before even learning to listen properly, Papa, already you are torturing them. We are killing them. So see, most of our methods are destructive. I'm sorry to say, most of our methods are destructive, harming than helping them. We are in a hurry. Teachers are in a hurry to, modern day mothers, they'll be giving pizzas to babies. I wonder what, when they have to give some Cerelac or anything, still it is 1 or 2 years. They want the child to enjoy all the pleasures of life today only. Oh, my child is eating the pizzas and already, no sooner it comes to 2 years of age, they want to give him non-veg. And as a result, There was one, I will give you an example, that Puttanna Chetty in Bangalore, you might know Bangalore, town hall. His son, own son was there, very wealthy man. He was the, inheritor of his father's property. Whole Bull Temple Road in Bangalore till that marketplace was his. And after his father's death, he owned the entire property. He started selling one by one, all. One building sell. Eat thoroughly, eat, drink and be merry. He sold all his property. Before the age of 30 only, he got all the diseases, AIDS, everything also, and he died. Before the age of 30 only, he died. Those who don't wait to even, that capacity to enjoy also has not yet come. We want to enjoy. We want to explore. So same mistakes we make even in reading and all these things. See, we have to give enough time for listening. We have to give enough time for listening. We ourselves don't talk properly. Are we good? We ourselves don't talk. We expect tests. What? Blasphemy. I tell you, it is blasphemy to be in the least. I'm telling you, it is not simply mistake. It is a blasphemy. It is it is a diabolical thing to do that for children. Let us be pitiful towards the children. Let's be compassionate. It's a most diabolical, horrible thing to do with children that, before we give time to them, we ask them to, give tests, this, that, be ready. The children, Papa, they'll be so full of fear instead of enjoying the life. I really appreciate Sir when Sir was teaching, everybody's so happy with his class. See, that should be, little indiscipline will come, I can understand. But that is one aspect we have to understand with children. Discipline also we must have. But one aspect is that fear of learning should not be there. Never, never. Fear of learning, if it is there, tomorrow test, day after tomorrow test, marks will be shown to parents. Never do this. Never do this. Doesn't matter even if test is not given. Keep giving just exposures. They will learn by themselves. No need to torture them at all. So this is one. Oh yeah, you have all given marks? One mark you have given, right? So, okay, let me tell you, making children happy, that itself is worship of God. Okay, now this that you have been given, just see, I'll just read out, the activity 17, story writing is given. Role play we have already done. Story writing, now we have to form circles. Now all of you, two groups you have to face each other, about groups of 10, 8 to 10. So face each other and sit. Yeah, first quickly you face each other, make groups of 10. Make groups of 10. Now you keep listening to my instruction, how you should do. Keep listening to my instructions. I'll tell you how you should do this. Yeah, face each other, turn towards your, or sometimes you can also join with them. Yeah. Now you just see the instructions as I read. The groups form circles. That means whatever, circles or rectangles, doesn't matter. Each student in the group has a pen and sheet of paper. Keep your one notebook that which has been given to you. One pen and paper. And a pen and paper. Your notebook. What you should do, the teacher reads out a question to which the students write the answer. For example, they have given. Now, let us start with this only. Say, for example, say, you can do this, different groups can start with different. So, one teacher you can have in one group. Say, for example, I'll quickly say, here. Madam is there. She is the teacher. Now, she will give, Amma will give, see, for example, here it is given, describe an astronaut. I'll first read out the instructions. All of you keep carefully listening to the instructions. Say, for example, she tells, describe an astronaut. Each student then passes the sheet to the student sitting on the right. That means, first question is describe an astronaut, and he will describe. Then he will give it to next. Then next what happens, each student, the teacher then reads out the second question, describe the spaceship now. He will describe the astronaut, then he will say describe the spaceship. Then the next student who has that paper should write that answer, 2-3 lines. Like that, you are weaving a story. You are weaving a story and do this until you complete some 2-3 rounds. Every student gets about 3 chances. About 3 chances. And then the teacher will read out, one of your representatives should read out the story. What you have weaved about. So this is one beautiful activity. One story coming out when very good, some kind of sensible story should come out. Let's say even if it is not sensible, it is so enjoyable. The children will just enjoy this. Nonsensical story also they will enjoy. One sheet. In the same sheet only better. Yeah, same sheet. That's one. One sheet only, but you can keep your books so that Correct. Say, you have to keep asking next question. For example, one question you ask, they will write the answer for that. Then she pass it on to her. Then you have to ask another question to her, the next subsequent question. Like that, they will weave a story. I think this is clear now. So now we'll make one teacher for each. Here, I think madam can become teacher. The eldermost or somebody can, you can become the teacher of this group. Similarly, here, a madam is there. Madam can make this one. Here, Brinda madam or Asha madam, Brinda madam and Asha. You can become a teacher for. Okay. Right. Right, no problem. Syllables can be recorded.
In each syllable there is one vowel sound.
Okay.
Can we use that criteria to break them into syllables?
Once again, you tell me, sister.
Each vowel, each syllable
Okay.
will have a vowel sound. Is that true?
Vowel, every syllable need not be, because sometimes consonants are also mixed in that. These children's sister.
A little bit of doubt is now.
Yeah.
After the first round, she'll have to put her own questions.
Means she has to keep on giving subsequent questions as the answers keep coming. 3-4 rounds, when it almost is a story, then you can read out that story. So 3-4 rounds also no problem until a sensible story. That particular pupil will think of that question and answer that question in a 2-3 lines. So it's not very heavy also. 3 or 4 lines, whatever. That's not a problem. 3 or 4 lines also not problem. So yes, exactly. Yeah, 2 or 3 rounds. Depends. No. After some time you'll stop it. After some time, by that some people would have done 2-3, some people 3-4. Doesn't matter. So this way, what happens is the story comes out faster. If I ask you to write one story, that person will take too much time to weave a story. Whereas when we do this, weaving a story, in 10 minutes one story will be ready. And even if it is not sensible, funny. One representative should be. Yes. This was all we did. All this only we did in our school. All this we did, and I just did only such things in higher classes. Higher classes I did. Actually, these things should be done with higher classes. Because 6-7 will not yet develop any vocabulary. So 6-7 is in the stage of listening.
Correct.
They are still in that like plant.
Correct. This is for the higher class.
8th onwards. It depends. Sometimes 18, sometimes 18, we have trained them like that, suppose. This side also can do. So for fun we can always do.
Boys can distribute time. So attendance also is there. Attendance also. I want to attendance.
Correct.
I want to forward it.
Okay, sister. So Krishna sir's presentation.
One who is interested in exploration of space. From time immemorial, we know about space, and we know that it's an acquisitive, abiding thrust to man. In his quest, man is making a constant effort to know more about space. So at one time, he likes to invent some spaceship, like a rocket, SLV, and it's huge and is able to travel around the whole solar system. After almost 3 years, the spaceship finally lands at the largest planet after the sun, Jupiter, which has many moons, unlike the Earth, which has just one moon. It looks like there is no night on Jupiter. Everything is bright, always. It's always lit up. After being confined to solitude for 3 years, the astronaut is relieved to get out of the spaceship. You can imagine being cramped for 3 years. And he meets a weird-looking being, full of voices and controls. Wires, okay, which he reckons as an alien. Being strange to each other, they instantly strike up a rapport. They liked each other. After a long struggle, they landed on the moon, but due to the air of the space, we had to bring our own oxygen with us. We find on the moon there is every possibility of animals surviving there. Then the alien took us to his village and fed us nicely and spoke to us and made friends, and we communicated through an electronic device which decoded the alien language to English. It was proper English with an accent of British. Then we exchanged presents and we came back to the Earth.
Wonderful, great. Give a big hand, please. It's like something, a story which is weaved. I remember there was a film called Mr. India. He will have something like that. The topic is like the Mr. India film you might have seen. That person finds a goggles whereby he can see actually the radiations and all. It's a very beautiful, so this kind of stories. Yeah. And the person who can read out, you can select the person who can best read out, or the teacher himself can read out. Like that you can select yourself. One representative who can read very best. Yeah.
Describe an astronaut. An astronaut is the one who takes the spaceship to other planets and he does research and explore the new planets. Describe a spaceship. It is a vehicle which carries astronauts and satellites to a certain height and then it detaches its parts and reach its distant space. What does an astronaut feel when he steps into an alien planet? He is so excited to see the alien planet. He is thrilled to see a water body in that planet. Describe an alien in the planet. He is green-eyed, bluish complexion with 4 hands. At first he got scared on seeing that alien. It welcomed him with open arms and a white smile. There was a question. So what happened in the company of alien? The alien took him to its mansion, which is filled with golden creepers and silver flowers. It served cold purplish brown drink in a color vase. The alien started to converse in his own way, but everything seemed Greek and Latin to him. Finally, they shared their love with gestures. What happened in the end? They had a great time talking together, dancing, singing, and also explored the planet together. Finally, the astronaut heard an alarm from the spaceship and it reminded him that he had to return to the Earth. With a heavy heart, he parted his friend and returned back to Earth.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, sister. The starting part of the story, generally in a story, there will be kind of what we say, a climax in the middle, and then movement slowly it takes the momentum, and then comes a falling action will be there. Rising action, a climax, falling action. So, and if you write the real story of a person who has underwent, instead of like this is my suggestion, then the people will enjoy more. Once upon a time, that kind of real story will be very enjoyable, rather than defining something. If you give definitions, okay, that is okay, but always children love real stories. Yeah, anybody? One person can stand up who can read. Who would like to read?
Pravakari was specially trained at Sathya Sai Grama to travel into outer space in search of cake for monthly birthday celebration at her campus. She used a skating board to travel to the space. She reached a planet called Neathar, which was filled with chocolates, cream, cherries, etc. She met an alien named Pongo, who had only one eye, two noses, three hands, and two horns. So Pravakari was in a shock when she encountered Pongo, whereas Pongo was delighted to meet Pravakari. They both became best friends, and Pravakari taught her phonetics to Pongo, and and Pongo taught Pravakari how to bake cakes and helped her carry as many as ingredients required for her to celebrate monthly birthday at her campus.
Doesn't matter. See, children will just enjoy whatever. See, that is more important. That imagination is more important than, very beautiful story. You can sit. Now and then you can sit.
On November 20th, we were off to Kudarmat National Park, National Forest, with our most beloved teachers. And she guided us to bring all the necessary things, which we carried. Everything went on very well in the beginning. But as it was growing slowly darker and darker, our fear also started increasing. And as we were thinking of getting back, suddenly from somewhere we could hear a roar. And we started perspiring. And the shivering also started. We started even getting lot of shiverings throughout our body. Then the roar started coming closer and closer. Anticipating this, when we were in the rooms, we just recollected what we saw in wildlife program, wildlife channel. So we were just discussing, though we were full of fear. Suddenly we could notice a tiger approaching us. Though we were completely shocked and taken aback, we didn't know how to respond, but at once we gathered, picked up courage, and remembered what all we studied, what all we discussed before, and at once opened all our hair and put it on our face, and just rushed towards the tiger with a big roar, and the tiger was frightened by this and started running away. Then we felt it to be one of the best incidents that we had ever faced in our lives.
Beautiful. Very, very nice story. Very, very. Climax was there. Suddenly, so it's a rising action, climax, falling action. Story should follow that sequence. It will be very great.
Opens his eyes. He's in his spaceship, but he was until now unconscious, and he could listen to the buzzing sound and red light of the spaceship. So which meant that the spaceship, something has happened into the spaceship and it's going to crash. And the spaceship name is Noah's Ark. The spaceship is having the few of the widest extinct, going to get extinct seeds and a few of the animals, which this astronaut is actually transporting these endangered species to another planet, but encounters an alien invasion in between. And as soon as he opens his eyes, he feels he's going to crash land into Mars. And soon after he is about to crash land, so there is another ship, a huge gigantic ship, which is purely black in color and trying to suck this spaceship into that spaceship through electromagnetic waves. And our hero, Peter, tries to use his laser bombs or all these technologies, tries to fight, but couldn't face it properly and gets sucked into the spaceship. That's what we wrote. Thank you.
Beautiful imagination, big hand for him. Beautiful imagination. See, children, when they write like that, they feel so inspired. Even if it is perfectly meaningful, it need not be. They have to just learn to imagine and construct the story like that. Then one day they themselves will construct the short stories. They'll start writing their own stories. This is how collective way we can learn to write stories. Very, very nice. Congratulations. Very nice. Good. Very good reading also. You can have your own topic. You can have your own topic and continue the same way. Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a bird by name Bablu. The bird with long beak, small tail, sharp claws, red crown, and colorful feathers. The bird had fledgling. One was black in color and another was brown in color. One day it started raining heavily, where it turned the color of the birds into vice versa. The one which was in black turned into brown, and the brown turned into black. As the color got changed, the birds got very upset and was trying to find out a shelter as it was raining heavily. There, it finds a huge big tree. The bird goes and hides in there, and to its astonishment, the birds got back its original color after reaching to the tree. Then the bird looks around, scanning the whole place. They came to the particular place near a coconut tree and changed the color.
That's why, yeah.
After getting back their color, they were really feeling it difficult to identify each other. At that moment, the bird's mother got an idea and kept names for both the birds, and with the help of those names, Bob and Lou, she was able to find the two babies.
Very, very nice, very nice. Please give them a big hand. That was very well weaved. So many stories. You are all very, very great story writers. Fantastic.
May I add a little bit to that?
Yeah, please.
The thing is, with the power of language, you can give flights to the imagination. So there's a story of a boy who had prepared for his examinations. He didn't know what was the essay going to come, so he prepared for a football match. But the essay that came for the exam was travel in space. So what he wrote is, he said, I went to the moon on a spaceship. We landed there, and the rest of the essay was all about football, the football match that they played there. Yes. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah.
We have a story here. The spaceship landed at Budnali.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. Okay, last one. One last chance. Yeah, kindly read it out. Yeah, please. Last story, and we'll continue with this. Yeah, there it is.
So this is a wind up by your story. When we reach there, they have the divine Sparshan, Darshan and Sambhashan. And they have their heavenly experience and makes them to ever full-time blissful.
Okay.
That is we wind up these stories.
Okay. That way you are winding up. Okay, good. So now it was a very fantastic. This is a very good tool for bringing out such kind of language in children. We have to use it with our children, especially 8th and 9th. And I'd like to just tell you before we wind up this one, and now we'll go forward. This should be mainly conducted, even for assessments you can conduct these activities for 8th onwards. Generally 6th and 7th, they are in the stage of listening and gathering they are in passive vocabulary stage. 6th and 7th classes, they are in the passive vocabulary stage. Let us remember, they are in passive vocabulary stage. That means what? They are still listening, they are still reading, they are gathering all those words. They say no, that some bird, it will keep on trying to first gather, and then there is some story. Like that, 6th and 7th boys will be gathering more. 8th onwards, when they start getting, these things should be conducted. Now, for higher children, 9th and 10th, generally if a teacher talks more, they become restless. If a teacher talks more with higher students, our intern brothers know this very well. Generally, a teacher, if they talk more, they become restless, because especially 9th and 10th, they are university level is okay, they are more matured, and sometimes lectures will have to be heard more there. But 9th and 10th, the adolescent age or in between age which is there, they become restless. So what we have to do, this kind of activities, we have to keep on honing their skills of spoken language. We have to allow them to speak, conduct activities. You can conduct marks also, give marks also. And you have to convert it to grade system. And one more thing which we discussed there with one or two sisters, I would like to just tell you, is that there is something called positive reinforcement. What is that? Suppose you don't want to give marks. See, if you give marks negatively, it will have a negative effect on people who will have not done well. It will have negative impact, labeling them as not good. Whereas if you give rewards, say chocolate or anything, it is called a positive reinforcement. It may have a little negatives. Other people may feel little depressed, but not to that extent. Positive reinforcements means what? You are trying to motivate others also and try to motivate him also, rewarding him, recognizing him, identifying. What we say, acknowledging is the word, right word. Acknowledging. Oh, see, you are identifying. Oh, very good. See, when you identify some boys and the girls, or when you identify the pupils and say, this is very good, and you note those stories and you note them and give them reward, it's a positive reinforcement. It is called positive reinforcement. As far as possible, 6th and 7th, if you want to conduct it, do it without marks. But 8th, 9th and 10th, this all comes under spoken language activities. Listening activity, I'll show you how to do listening activity. This is all spoken activities. Listening activities are those which you have to give something, listen, you should be ready with a worksheet. You'll have to be ready with a worksheet, you have to give them before itself, they have to go through the questions, they have to be ready. Then 2 times you put the listening tasks. And then they'll be able to do it. They have to answer those questions. Listening tasks are like that. Or audio visual. Let them see 2 times, once or twice. Then you put questions to them, oral or written. So listening is one thing. So listening syllabus, listening assessments. Spoken syllabus, spoken assessments. Writing syllabus, writing assessments. And what else is left out? LSRW. LSR, reading, silent reading. So unseen passages. For example, you give them unseen passages or short stories. They have to read by themselves. Generally, we teach the lessons and we give the same questions. What we have to do, when you teach them a lesson or when they start reading portions, what is there in the portions, you have to test them on a new story, unseen passage. If they have really done good exercises here, they would be able to read. To that level only, you have to select some new passage and test them for reading. So LSRW is the common syllabus for all classes, 6th to 10th, especially 7th to 10th. 6th is only special syllabus, I'll tell you that. 6th is only handwriting, phonetics, and informal reading and informal listening. Video shows and informal reading. Whereas 7th to 10th or 12th, 7th to 12th, it is same LSRW. You have to have syllabus for each and you have to conduct tests for each. And combining all that, 5 marks for each, you combine it for 20 marks and give grade system monthly. Monthly you have to have the data. This is how we have to do for all classes. This is the methodology we have to employ for all classes. This is a beautiful methodology, having all. And now you see, this is the broad-based method. Whereas you can conduct, the teacher is ready to, he is free or he or she is free to conduct any number of such activities. So you come up with something, word building. I give a word, hard. Okay, add what is that, the prefix or suffix, and bring out more hardship, harder. This is another activity. So the sky is the limit for creativity. You can conduct your own activities and keep on doing this and keep on bringing out. So the basic things you have to give in 6th and 7th and keep doing that also in later stage. Even in 8th, 9th, 10th, you have to keep on doing that reinforcement again. That listening exposures, reading exposure. Keep 1 day for reading. In 6th class, more of that. In other classes, once in a week reading you should give. Once in a week phonetics you should revise. Once in a week, some reading materials or some listening material. And other days you should do these activities. That is how learning becomes joyful. That is how they enjoy your class. See how beautiful stories, what imagination it is. We just enjoyed it. This kind of things will come out, and when they have enough practice, they themselves will start writing short stories. You know that R.K. Narayan has written so many short stories. How did he write? His imagination, R.K. Narayan's story. How did he write? So your imagination, once it starts ticking, there's no end to it. Now coming back to this, we'll finish it off. Some practice, exactly. By 1 o'clock, by 12:55 we are going to leave, and today Asha madam is going to speak today and share her insights she has derived, and she is going to share with us, especially about weak children and how, and what we say, deprived, the kind of children, how to deal with them, the problems coming in that. So that we'll listen at 12:55. Until then, now some good practice we have to have a thorough hold on in there's a dictionary exploration. Now you know that lower stress, upper stress, correct? Am I right? Lower stress, upper stress, Now, we'll give you some words. You have to yourself go to that word. In fact, I forgot one thing. You have to give first some practice to the children to go to the dictionary and find out the word. Just give them some word. Go to the dictionary, identify the word. That itself takes some time because alphabetical wise, first letter you have to find. Then if you don't get the first letter, suppose I want to find out one word, obvious. I have to go to first O by seeing the first page. I have to go to O. Then I should see the second letter, ob, O-B. That's how you identify they start getting it very soon. If you just teach them once, twice, they start doing these experiments and they start going to the word very fast in the dictionary. That itself will take about 1 week. You have to do that exercise beginning before starting the phonetics. So now I'll give you some words. Let us do the real exploration and find out the pronunciation of the words. This is a very, very valid question. I was actually coming to it. Sir has raised this question. I will just quickly in a nutshell put it. Sir is asking, is it necessary for 6th class boys also to have this? Yeah, exactly. That's right actually. But it's a valid question. But I will tell you from my about nearly, it's very humble. I speak about all this in because all that we experience only we have to put forth in front of you now. I can't hold anything back. From my 17 years of experience till this year what I'm teaching, this is my 18th year, I must say dictionary is indispensable in the beginning stages. Later you can dispense with it. Later after you master it, you need not always have it. You can do with mobile, you can do with small dictionaries. Until they know the concept, it is very important. Even to use the mobiles for teachers, there are so many things which we will not know. The standard way will not be given in the internet. I have found out. I have seen words with wrong pronunciation, which is not the right way. They make it easy for us. You know what they do? They go for a convenient way of pronunciation and put that in internet so that but that is not the, because you need to know the standard way, the way it is mentioned in these standard dictionaries, British way, the real. So the first 6th class, we have to give it. This is my opinion, this is my experience. Once you give this, you don't know how strong they become later. You don't know how strong they become later. They become masters of it. I have taken videos of our children in my class who have come there, who have written the word out of their own, this one, they find out the pronunciation, they write it, upper stress, lower stress. I have taken the video, I'll show it tomorrow. They will explain everything, how to actually find the pronunciation. They will do it. I have taken videos of that. So we will be able to make them masters. And first we will do it, and then we will make others also. So now I'll just give some practice. So you see, you'll explore and you'll enjoy. Take down these words, or you go to that word. I'll tell you what you should do. I'll pronounce one word. Go to that word in the dictionary. See the pronunciation. Write the same pronunciation in your notebook. Write the same pronunciation with stress and upper stress. Then I will ask somebody to pronounce it. Okay, I'll give some 5 words like that. You have to go to the dictionary, see the pronunciation given there, decode it as you have learnt it. Learn the pronunciation and be ready for pronouncing it. I will ask by, randomly. First word, catabolism. Okay, I'll just tell the Indian accent, you go to that word, and then you be ready. Catabolism. Just write the word if you want, if you don't want to forget, or you just go directly, or you kindly write that word, catabolism. Just write the word catabolism, C-A-T-A-B-O-L-I-S-M, catabolism. I'll just give some 5 words, you just keep writing. First you keep writing, then you start. Differentiate. Differentiate. D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-T-I-A-T-E. T-I-A-T-E. Differentiate. Next one, exploration. I'm giving with almost majority of the spelling letters. Exploration. Formality. Horrendous. H-O-R-R-E-N-D-O-U-S. H-O-R-R-E-N-D-O-U-S. 5 are over. Now you just 5 words I've given. So you go to the dictionary. You try to do it individually. Okay, go to the dictionary. If you have a doubt, you can discuss with somebody, or you can ask me if you have any problem. So go to the dictionary first and write the same thing. You just copy the same phonetic transcription given there, phonetic transcription, and learn it and keep it. If you are confident, if you are sure, Otherwise, you can ask day. So don't worry if you are not able, if you make mistakes. See, when we make mistakes, another thing I would like to tell all of you, dear brothers, one great insight. When we commit mistake, we should understand the mistake. We should not condemn ourselves. Oh, this is the mistake. See, now for example, somebody pointed out at me. When I was doing, one or two brothers or sisters, they pointed out my mistake. I understood the mistake. Oh, yes, correct. My focus was on the mistake, not on, I did like this. We are all liable for it. We are all liable for mistakes, committing mistakes. What is a big thing? Nobody of us are perfect. We are all moving towards perfection. Therefore, the most important aspect here is, even children we have to, see when anyone does a mistake in our class, what should be our reaction? No problem, absolutely no problem. Very good, you have tried well. This kind of reinforcements you have to keep on giving. If they commit mistakes, that very moment they become guilty. And they feel lost. So you have to immediately reinforce confidence in them. You have to say, no problem, very good, you have tried very well, excellent. Then they feel immediately, oh, sir is praising me, I have tried my best. So that kind of reinforcements we have to give to children. Because after all, what is the difference between mistakes and perfection? It's just a course of time. It's just a matter of time, that's all. Yesterday I was committing mistake, today I am doing well. That's all, it's a matter of time. Everybody can become perfect in English. Nobody is an exception. One may be little lagging behind. So we should not write off anybody, we should not write off. Saying that you cannot, oh no, it's wrong, it is wrong, sit down, he's useless fellow. That way we should never scold them. We should never do that. That is the biggest mistake if we do it. Okay, next word. Yeah. Is there. Formality. You enjoy it actually. And when you learn the science of pronunciation, anyone can pronounce it. When you learn it, you can pronounce it. See, why it becomes difficult for us, we don't know the science behind it. If you want to learn cooking, we know how to eat. Okay, anyone can learn cooking, how to prepare one paisam. If you teach the remedy and ingredients and all, what we should do and which kind of ingredients, in what proportions we have to put those ingredients, everyone can learn to prepare a good dish. Who is an exception here? We have to teach children that you can do very well. See, we don't teach pronunciation and we blame the children. We say, no, not good, you don't speak well. See, what a big mistake we commit. We don't teach pronunciation on our side and we label them as bad. How bad it is. On our part, how bad it is, isn't it? Everyone, if they know this, see, once you empower them, they will practice it. They know how to do it. Tomorrow they'll become perfect in pronunciation. They know what is given upper stress. It's a matter of practice. Everyone can pronounce very well. Because of lack of time, I'm not able to give more practice. Otherwise, definitely in afternoon sessions also, we would have had wonderful sessions about all these things. We would have played, have some games also regarding this. We do all that in the class regarding all these things only. Okay, I think last word is there. Which one? Horrendous. Where is that word? No, here. Here, where is that word? Anybody has that word in the dictionary open? Yeah, it'll be. Yeah. How to read this word? Yeah, please tell me. Who will read this? Who will read loudly? Can you read?
Horrendous.
Horrendous. One is horrendous, terrible, horrible. Horrendous. It was a horrendous nightmare. Oh, horrendous nightmare for me.
Horrendous.
The other, one more, it is horrendous. Horrendous. See, Ray you should stress. Other one is American. Horrendous. Horrendous. The Americans, they pronounce like that. Horrendous. So 5 words are over. Now, based on the time, I'll give another last 5 words. And then exactly at 12:55, I should stop it. We have another just 15 minutes. So last 5 words, you will have exploration. And then we will be done with phonetics. I have given you a brief introduction. This is a bird's eye view that I have given you. You need to practice it. You have to take it up seriously. I just would like to know how many would have liked it. How many have liked it? So very good, wonderful. So if you liked it, you will definitely practice it. And if you do it, your children will do it. I know you will enjoy it and your children also will enjoy it. That's the secret. Okay, beautiful. Now, last 5 words. I have given till H, so other things. Let me come till H, K. Next one. International. 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 You can write the word only. Then now this word is there. L-I-E-U-T-E-N-A-N-T. 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 Find out the pronunciation. See, what is written, it may not be the same. Pronunciation may not be the same. Yeah, you have to just find out. And see, along with the stress. You have to pronounce along with the stress. You know. Next one. Next one is mechanical. Measurement. Mechanical measurement. Measurement. Next one. Necessarily. Necessarily. So how to pronounce the word, where to stress it, where to stop it, all is given in the dictionary. Necessarily. Occasionally. Occasionally. Indian accent is occasionally. How do we actually pronounce it? How many over? 6 over? Okay, one last word I'll give you. One last one. Percentage. Percentage. Okay, you can start. So now you are more familiar, you will do little more quickly. 15 minutes. National. Okay, that's okay. Next one. Next is. Where is that word here? You saw this when you written. Where is this one? EA only. Who will read this?
No, sir.
Who will read this?
Lieutenant. It's lieutenant. Lieutenant.
Where is it?
Lieutenant.
Here, what we see, there is no lower stress before L. There is no lower stress. So, it should be feeble. Lieutenant. Lieutenant. So, left you don't have to pronounce. Lieutenant. 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 See, I'm not, it is feeble. Lieutenant. Tenant is more. You begin with that also, no problem. Very feeble. Lieutenant. Another. Again. I'm just saying again. Again and again. Again and again. See? Another. Is almost swallowed. Lieutenant. Next one. Which is the next?
Mechanical. Mechanical.
Correct. Almost right. Perfect. See, there should be some music in your mechanical. It is more, right? Mechanical. Stress it more. Mechanical. Don't be mechanical. Yeah, you'll read.
Measurement.
Is there any lower stress? Lower stress is there, no? Upper stress is there. So where is the upper stress? First only. In the first only. Measurement. Measurement. See? The staff, they took the measurement of the staff for stitching. So measurement. So if it is big before itself, the starting syllabus only will be stressed. Measurement. Okay, last word I think now. Over? Over? Huh? Which is the next one? Okay, okay. Who will start? Who will do this? Anybody? I'll give some more time. I'll give some more time. If no time is there, I'll just distribute this one more thing. You can do it yourself. No problem. Take time, take time. 5 more minutes. Only when we come to school, we know the value of even one minute. In 1 minute, we can do one conclusion. 1 minute, we can finish one word, you know. I have understood the value of time. In 1 minute, I can come from, 2 minutes it takes for me to come from Saidam to school. So 2 minutes are so important. Every minute is so important. No problem. So who will read this word necessarily? Anybody here? Vidya Sagar? There is a lower stress? There is a lower stress, no? And upper stress is where? Say. And lower stress is where? Before. Necessarily. Necessarily. Necessarily, phonetics is most important. Necessarily, phonetics is most important. Okay, next word?
Occasionally. Occasionally.
Oh, wonderful word. See? How do you pronounce this? It is only, there's no lower stress. It is only a. So you can start with the next. Actually, you can. How do you do? Anybody would like? Anybody would like? Occasionally. A is very feeble. Occasionally. We eat ice creams occasionally. We eat ice creams occasionally. Don't you think when we talk like this, when we know the science of doing it, we also start speaking like Krishna sir? Correct? So he speaks effortlessly. He speaks effortlessly. We have to learn to do all this. Then we'll start speaking like him. Occasionally, we also eat ice creams. Ice creams, you know. We eat ice creams occasionally. Okay. How do you pronounce okay? Okay. Okay. Or American way is okay. Okay. British is okay. Okay. So last word. Where is it?
Percentage.
Who will read out? Anybody here? Don't worry about mistakes. The problem is we don't take chances because we think that we commit mistakes. We don't take chances. We feel, yeah, take. Yes.
Percentage.
Where is that word, sister? Who is it? Tell me.
Percentage.
Is it age?
Each.
Age. So how will you do it?
Percentage.
Age. So how will you do it?
Percentage.
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 Percentage. How much percentage you got? Percentage. Actual pronunciation is that. We say percentage. But we are so used to it. Percentage. We want to pronounce it. Indians, you know, letter by letter, we are so sincere. One word we should not leave pronunciation. Percentage. This is what we do. I think last word is left out. Last word. Thank you so much.